You were supposed to clap at the same time, so we
Oh,
could.
I was supposed to clap and say, I thought we was going to use the audio. Okay.
Three,
Three,
two,
two, one.
one.
That
Okay.
was so delayed.
Yeah, I'll work it out by when your mouth starts moving. Welcome to episode 17 of Tech Over Tea. This is the most overproduced episode of this show that you'll ever see. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thanks for welcoming me, Brody.
So,
How's it been? Long time no see.
oh, it has been a while, hasn't it? I think the last time I
Yeah.
saw you would have been, I think, a week or so before all the shutdown. Because I remember seeing you just after you finished teaching a class.
Yeah, because I came into AGPU after one of my IDI classes.
No, it wasn't. I didn't see you there. I saw you after I was walking out the VR room. I think that was the last time.
Ah, yeah.
So you were still like standing in the classroom. I think maybe that wasn't even the last time because I know that day you didn't you have like everyone leave early or something like that?
Yeah, was that like week one or week
I
three?
I don't know what week it was. It was a while ago, that's for sure.
Yeah. Week one, everyone left super early. I only taught for like half an hour in each class, and it was a 2 hour class.
Oh, maybe it was after that I saw you then. So how has that
'Cause, yeah.
that teaching experience been going?
Okay, so I don't know if I've told you this yet, but I haven't told the good people at Tech Over Tea. So I found out that I was teaching less than a week before I started teaching
Hmm.
because I have, for my ICT project in my last year of uni, I did a project in the VR lab. Well, not the VR lab. There's a name for it. The W building. W building has a name, and it's like human interaction something.
Yeah, wearable. I
So I was
think people
doing
are calling it.
Yeah. So there was a project I was doing in there with a HoloLens, and once I'd finished that project, Ross Smith, Associate Professor Ross Smith, came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to continue this project as an internship?" So I said, "Sure." Did a 10-week internship, and in my last few weeks, the guy who sat behind me at my desk at W Building said, "Hey, I can no longer teach. Do you want to do my teaching?" I'm like, sure. I don't know what I'm teaching, but sure." It's like, okay, just text Ross and tell him you're going to teach. I'm like, okay. So I text Ross because I already had the number because I'm doing an internship for him anyway. Text him and like, "Hey, Tom said that if you need help teaching, I can do the teaching." He said, "Sure, I'll see you on Friday." Friday came around. I went into a meeting with him at 10 a.m. in his office. He's like, "All right, do you have any questions?"
What?
Yeah, what am I teaching? Like, what course am I teaching? What do I actually have to do? Do I have to talk in front of, like, the several classrooms? Because it was in F22, which is, like, the
The computer
four
labs.
rooms that are all connected.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Mac labs. Yeah.
yeah. And so, yeah, I just fucking didn't know. And so he gave me, like, a quick explanation. I'm like,
Mhm.
sounds easy enough. He's like, "Okay, so we don't actually have the assignment released yet." This was
Wait, did
Friday.
it change much from the year before?
Not particularly. Like the entire thing changed. Like it was a different.
The
Like
different
when we did
topic.
it, it was, yeah. So when we did it, it was the aged care facility,
Hmm.
and we pretty much are doing the exact same thing, but instead of an aged care facility, it's a hospital that have a MRI scanning machine.
Right. Okay.
And so you're doing the exact same thing. You're making all the personas and all that.
Hmm.
Same assignment.
Are you still
Um,
using what was it?
JavaFX
Oh,
is.
okay. No, right. Yeah, it is JavaFX. For some reason, I learnt Swing before that course, thinking it was going to be a Swing course, and they changed it just as the course started.
That year was the first year to JavaFX, yeah. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so I went into my first class, and all I knew was the assignment is not released yet
Hmm.
because he hadn't released it yet, and make students into groups, and then tell them what a persona is, and that was the entirety of my content for my first class. So I walked in, wrote my name on the board with a marker, and I'm
And
like,
they were
oh
probably like, "Who's
shit.
this student? He looked younger than us."
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them are older than me. It's really fucking weird. So I'm like, "Hey guys, my name's Nick. You can call me Nick." And then yeah.
And then you're like, "I don't know what to do anymore." How
I'm
did?
sorry if I seem underprepared. I am underprepared. I learnt about this teaching job 4 days ago. Um, this week we don't have much content. All we're going to be doing is I'll teach you what a persona is. You should already know what a persona is because you did personas in whatever course it was, system analysis, or whatever.
Yeah, one of those.
They did last semester.
Or maybe it was ITPM?
DTI.
Maybe?
No, they hadn't done ITPM yet, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, so it would have been...
Maybe they have. No, they have because they're second years, yeah.
Second year first... Yeah, of course, second year first semester, so they would have done... What would they have done?
They would have done systems analysis, ITPM, and DTDI.
Okay.
And I think it's DTDI where they did personas.
Unless they blocked
Either
out
way,
all of DTDI like I did.
They already knew what they were. I didn't have access to the streaming thingy to put it up on the board. So I'm like, everyone just Google persona, and then click on images, and then click on the third image there. That's a good example.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's how you teach.
Like the one that says like Henry, whatever his name is. That's the good one. So it's made up of these things. You've got to fill out these boxes, information, bio, whatever. Makes it into groups for the group assignment. I can't tell you what the assignment is yet because the spec is not released yet, but I can only assume it's similar to what we did 2 years ago when I did the course. And then I gave a short explanation on like what that was. And it's JavaFX, and you make different windows, and everyone works together, and blah blah blah. And then someone said, "What size are the groups?"
That's always a good start, isn't it?
And I'm like, oh shit, what size is the group? So I had to text Ross and was like, hey Ross, someone just asked me what size the groups are. And I'm like, okay, he hasn't responded yet. Make stuff in the groups of 4. That should be fine. There are 20 students in the class, 4-person group. Sounds like good.
Did you actually have 20 people in the class though? They all show up?
So I've got 3 classes, 20 people in each, and I think I got 20, 19, and 18 show up.
That's actually pretty good. Well, it is first week, so usually you get...
First week, like, you kind of have to show up, yeah. The only people that didn't show up are the people that were, like, still travelling to Australia. They hadn't actually arrived yet. And, of course, Gemma was late because it's Gemma. She messaged me on Facebook like 20 minutes after the class started and was like, hey, I'm still coming. I'm in the library.
That must be weird teaching people that you actually know.
It's so fucking weird.
Because, what was his name? He did... he was teaching for the Android course.
I don't know.
He was one of the... I think he was a year above us.
Oh, Ben?
No.
Ben Schwartz?
No, it wasn't that. He looked like he'd fit right in a punk band. I don't remember his name. He was also the lecturer for that course.
Was he?
Who am I thinking of?
Which Android course was this? Is this mobile game development?
Yeah.
Or was it game or app?
The one...
I didn't do mobile app.
Maybe
I did mobile game.
Which one was mobile game? No, mobile app was the iOS course.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, mobile game. Because, yeah, we were sitting, like, right across from each other in that class.
Yeah. And I worked with, what's his name?
I have an internet connection here. Why don't I look it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up as we speak. What's the course called? I just said what it was, but...
This is quality content.
Was it a third year?
It's fine. Anyone who would have stopped watching has already stopped watching now. To be honest, I think that was actually the strongest start I've ever had to an episode.
Nice.
Usually we just stumble around for a bit. Mobile game development.
I have the course website here, and I can't see the lecturer's name.
Oh, that's weird. Michael Stouffer.
Oh yes, I completely forgot he existed. The guy that looks like McCree.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I can show you guys the thing. I've got these scenes set up now where I can actually show people stuff on the screen. If anyone, I actually know some. There is one person I know who watches my channel, who asked me about courses at UniSA. So I'm going to assume they were probably a student and probably knew who I was. I think that was when I had like 2k subs, so it was weird. Like, don't recognize me.
How many subs do you have now?
Main channel I have 6.87k.
Fucking hell, dude.
On library...
Last time I checked, you had like 200, and you were very happy about having 200.
I was very happy about having 200. Then I got a shout out from Luke Smith, and that boosted me up to like 2,000 in a day. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? What just happened? I was on holiday. Like, I was holidaying at my parents' place at the time. I woke up, checked my phone. I was like, what just happened? Where did
Is this my channel I'm looking at here? Is this not some other guy called Brody Robertson?
That was absolutely insane when that happened, and then it's just been a constant stream upwards from there. And today I've actually got a video that just came out. So
Yeah, I got the notification this morning, 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't upload. Well, I don't. I'm not awake then. I schedule them.
Ah.
It's good for American time. But I think about a week or so ago, Luke did a video called, let me find it.
And is he some other...
He's
Linux
one of the
YouTuber?
bigger Linux guys. I think he's on like 90k right now. So, and that's actually like pretty big for a Linux channel. There's only maybe 3 or 4 that are above 100k. So he did a video. Where the hell's the video? Does your window manager swallow? Which is a great name for a video. And then today I basically was like, this is the only window manager that can do this feature. And I made a video basically responding to that. And now that video is like one of my best performing videos right now. I think I titled it something like, yes, Luke, my window manager does swallow, or something like that. Which is...
Yes, Luke, my window manager also swallows.
Yeah, there we go. Oh no, I broke my scene. Shit. Okay, well, I guess we can't see, shit.
Professional YouTuber here.
I closed my web browser. I think we can fix this. Anyway. You're talking about teaching. Go back to that while I try to recover this.
Yeah. So what was I talking about? Week 1.
Lord.
Really fun.
Okay.
So I got everyone into groups of 4 because I'm like, groups of 4 sounds good. And then everyone got into groups of 4. They all like got into their table rows, so they're all together. And then I get the text back from Ross. Groups of 5, please. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's fine. I can manage. Luckily, by the end of the week, everyone had like emailed me and was like, hey, the spec's now released, and the spec says we can have 4 to 5 in a group. Can we now just like upgrade our group so that we're all 5s? I'm like, sure, if you want to make 5s, that's
upgrade your group. That's funny. They're still second years.
They want extra people in their group. Oh my god.
Here's the thing about that assignment. If it's anything like when I did it, there wasn't enough work for 4 people.
Yeah, no, there's not. I don't know if I should name drop students. I already have name
as long
dropped
as you
one student,
say
but-
first names, they're not just not saying anything.
Yeah, okay.
Also, don't be mean because you are still teaching, so don't be mean to the students.
It's not mean. Jack knows what he's doing. So there's a group Discord server that I'm in. That's like one of the student groups. It's got 5 people in it. And Jack in there is constantly being like, "How much work do I have to do to pass? Like what's the minimum I can do to pass?" And I'm like, just do the same work as the rest of your group because this is an easy assignment.
Oh my god.
So like he's just done the login screen, and he wants to make it super basic and just. Oh, but if I just do the login screen, that's what I did in the document. It's like, yeah, but your group's designing like 20 screens. Everyone's doing like really nice looking screens with good animations, and you want to do the login screen. You put in any password, any username, click continue, and that's all the screen does. It doesn't check between an array of passwords and usernames to get the right one. If you leave it blank and click submit, it'll just do it. He wants me to pass him for doing that much work for the assignment.
Also, if anyone listening, this is a UI development course. It's not like a proper programming course, so it's okay to do the array of passwords before anyone says that's a terrible idea.
No. That's like we've told people like hard code whatever you want. Don't make a database that looks up people from a database, transforms it into code. Just hard code, put an object on the screen.
Yeah, it's basically
label
like a
on the screen,
prototyping
whatever.
course, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, he wants to do like that much. I'm like, no, that's not good enough. I will fail you. Like, I'm not afraid to fail you. Like, I'll do it.
That's
I'll fucking do it again.
that is awesome. I love that.
Yeah. But it's great because I'm allowed to talk to him like that on Discord because
Mm-hmm.
Discord isn't an official communication channel.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm on Zoom with them, I'm like very held back, very relaxed. Then we get out of the Zoom call into Discord. Jack, what the fuck are you doing?
I love that you can still do that. It's great. Like, it's nice to have some people who are still sane in the like as a teacher, because a lot of them they don't seem human. A lot of them seem like they've been in the university system for so long that it's just like, how do I speak like a normal person?
Yeah.
Like Doug, for example,
Yeah.
he's a cool dude. Adam is also cool, but then you have others where it's like, are you actually a person? Like, what are you saying right now? Do you actually talk like this in the real world?
Yeah. I've tried to like be professional in the introduction to my Zoom. Like how I run my Zoom meeting now, once we've stopped being in person, is 9:10. Like if my class is 9 to 11, I'll do 9:10. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming today. I've split you up into your 4 breakout rooms. I'll see you all soon. And then I'll open the rooms. Everyone will join, and then I'll get into the group one. I'll be like, "Wubba lubba dub dub gamers."
I was gonna
I wanna-
ask you
I
how
wanna
you
die
managed to actually
sometimes,
handle
but-
the tutorial classes, because it would have been a complete hassle or a complete mess to do it in like one big group. So,
Yeah, so I don't do tutorials. I do practicals.
oh, whatever it is you do, yeah.
So I run a practical session where everyone just works on their group assignment. So mine's super easy because they just work on their group assignment. So I do 4 breakout rooms, 1 for each group, and then at 9:10 I'll open the rooms. Then I'll jump into room 1 for 15 minutes, and then I'll have a 5-minute break, and then I'll jump into room 2 for 15 minutes, 5-minute break. All that for all 4 groups. And that'll get me after my 4th 5-minute break. That'll be 10:30, and then I've got half an hour there where anyone can click ask for help, and then I'll join back into their
Okay.
meeting and give them extra help.
Yeah, because I haven't been attending any of my Zoom classes, so I didn't have any idea how they worked.
Yeah. So when you get sorted into a breakout room, you can either be in the main session or in your room, and yeah, all like the chat is all private to that room.
Right.
So you can like share files and all that in your room, and then other people can't look at your stuff.
Well, private,
No, I can
assuming
look at
that Zoom's encryption works.
Yeah. I mean, private in the fact that if no one's hacking it, then the other groups can't see your stuff. Yeah. You right there?
I'm dying.
Wonderful.
A good start to the show. Oh. Okay. Do you actually know how Zoom's encryption used to work?
I have no idea. I haven't looked into Zoom at all.
Okay, so they were doing like a proper encryption method. I think they were doing like SHA-256 or something like that. But what they were doing was they were generating the private key on the Zoom server and then sending the private key out to everyone. Which is not how a private key works. So they all shared the same private key that was being sent over the internet, not encrypted.
Even I know that's not how that works, and I don't do any security stuff.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a stupid
Just
idea.
making a Git setup, you gotta make your own private key, and then you get out the public key. Like that's how keys work.
Well, no, in a video chat method or video chat system, what you're supposed to do is generate the private keys on the clients, and then the server has their own private key, and they encrypt stuff on either side with their private keys, and can unencrypt it with the public keys. Like, that's how it works. It's basic stuff, guys. Look, if you're gonna build in backdoors, don't just make it a backdoor. Don't just make it the main entrance. So have you been enjoying the teaching experience? How's that actually been?
Yeah, so it's been weird. Like with the fact that I've got Discord and all that with all my students, it's kind of like they can contact me anytime. So now I'm invisible constantly. Yeah, I've told them that like I won't respond on weekends, and then weekends come around and they message me, and I'm like,
Especially the weekend the assignment's due.
yeah, especially like Sunday when it's due, and they all message me at like 9 a.m. or like 4 p.m. or like call sign X did at like 7 p.m. call sign X as in the Discord name, not the actual student's name.
No, that's the actual student's name. The legal name.
Yeah, no. Legal name. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So they'll message me, and I'll try to get back to them immediately, but it's not always possible because sometimes I'm playing RuneScape or Minecraft.
Well, look, you're not getting paid, so.
Yeah, I mean, I get paid for an hour of work each week outside of the practical class,
Right.
and I've probably done 8 hours of work outside the prac class for the past 6 weeks.
Is that because you want to do it, or because you want to keep the teaching thing going?
No, just because people message me and like, hey, my shit doesn't work,
And
I'm
you're
like,
too
okay,
nice,
well,
basically.
Let's yeah, I'm a nice guy. Yeah, I'll just jump in a Discord and be like, yo, what up, screen share. Yeah, you fucking broke it there. Like, you're not using the right thing. That, like, a pane doesn't have that kind of function. Or, here, let me Google JavaFX, fix the problem that you have. Oh, look, here's the answer.
So, with that course, I don't remember how it was structured. I know you had the one big assignment. Was that the only assignment, or was there one before that?
So you've got the one huge assignment that you essentially start in week 2, and it goes all the way through. Then there's the exam.
Oh, right, it's an exam.
And you had the practical one, the post-it note.
Right. Oh, post-it note. Okay, so you're still doing that one. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone does the post-it note individually, and yeah, and then you got the one big assignment. The one big assignment is split into 2 parts. So phase 1 to 4 is all like design document, and then you got phase 5, which is implementing all the stuff that you wrote in your design document, and then phase 6 is making a video.
Right, that makes sense.
Like how the application works, and then how you've implemented all the stuff from your document.
That makes sense.
And we got marked down because sections of our document looked like it was scrolling through a Word document, and it seemed like that because it was.
What? Wait, what?
You don't remember the video that we definitely edited ourselves and didn't just make Cade do it all?
I don't remember. No, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I forgot that we
you
even
guys
did
don't
that class
know,
together.
Me and Brody were in a group for that assignment.
I forgot about that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were in a group for that, and you did all of the like
The hard stuff.
base code, so all the like the window switching
Because
stuff.
I used to do too much work
then we
back
just-
then.
Yeah. This was before you decided that I only get marked for the things that I do, and my group mates get marked for the things that they do. So yeah, you did all that, and then we just made our own screen each, and then all functionality was already there to switch screens.
Because I think I wanted to have the ability to go back between different screens, and it was just easier to do it like that.
Yeah, you use like a stack, so that when you click back, it just pops top element off a stack, and you return to the previous screen.
I was so proud of that, and it's such a basic thing.
Yeah.
It's so weird being a second year when you're just learning about like data structures and all this cool stuff you can do, and then you look back and it's like, wow, that took me.
I used a stack.
That took me like 2 weeks to do, and it was the most basic thing on the planet.
Yeah, like when I first started to learn like how lists work, like in C# they're just called lists, but in Java they're called array lists. When I started to learn how they worked, I'm like, dude, this is so much cooler than an array. And now I use it, and it's like, this is the basic structure. Like, what is an array?
Yeah, I was like that with dictionaries.
Oh yeah, dictionaries fuck.
I think I was using a dictionary for something that it really shouldn't be used for. Like, you can basically replace an array with a dictionary if you want to. It's not a good idea. And you just have these, like, keys that don't make any sense, but you're just like, dictionaries, they're so cool, look what I can do with them.
Yeah, I tried using a dictionary to create, like, a UI in Unity. It took me so long to make, and when I finally finished it, I was like, wow, it displays slightly it runs, like, a few frames faster than it used to run without that.
How much effort did you put into that?
It was probably like 2 days work.
Oh, it's not that
by
bad.
By 2 days,
then.
I mean like I was doing like 6-hour days. So.
6 hours is a short day for me.
Yeah.
Even now, I still work way more than I should. I just take lots more breaks.
Yeah. See, I don't really work that much anymore. Aside from doing like helping with JavaFX and stuff. I used to do all day Monday, and then I would just do whatever Big Dub gave me. So now I'm doing like 9:30 to 2:30 Sundays, and then I might get another 1 or 2 shifts a week.
Okay.
And then I just sit here and I sit right here and play Minecraft, mine diamonds, play Minecraft, mine diamonds.
Or, or also play RuneScape. Yes.
Oh yeah, play RuneScape. Yeah.
I don't know why, I've been stumbling over my tongue way more than normal lately. You should see how long it takes me to record a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
It's actually a fucking train wreck.
Just full of jump cuts.
Yeah. But what I've noticed is I get really, really annoyed when I'm recording the video. I'm like, this is shit. And then I go to edit it, and I listen to it. I was like, who the hell is recording this video? Like, what is this? I don't remember this being this good.
Yeah. We see. I can't listen to my own voice recorded. It's. I sound like garbage. So, and like that, and like when I take photos of myself, I like when I'm taking the photo, I'm like, fuck yeah, I look amazing. And I look back at the photo, and I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. Who is this?
I guess that's a good way to approach it. You don't want to be completely up your own ass.
Yeah. Like yeah, I was walking home. Like I got this haircut yesterday. I was on the way home. I walked like a kilometer home. Just taking a selfie and then looking at it and then deleting it and then taking a selfie and then looking at it and then deleting it because I'm like I need a good photo because my current photo on Facebook is disgusting because I got the fucking double chin. Oh, no, I've got the receding chin.
Receding chin.
Yeah. Leafy is here is missing chin. And then yeah, I walk like a kilometer of just deleting and then taking it again and deleting it and taking it again. And then I'm just like, get into my backyard because I walked all the way home. And I'm like, just like spinning around in circles, like trying to find good lighting because I don't know how to take selfies. Like,
when I first met you, I couldn't imagine you doing something like that.
it's like I just want a good photo. Like I don't want it to look ugly. Like it's gonna be there for a few years because I'm not gonna take the effort to take another photo of myself.
What picture do I have on Facebook right now? I don't even use Facebook that often. Mainly, it's just for the Facebook groups, the messenger groups.
It's probably the real version of your.
The one I used to use on YouTube. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Where I had the short beard and it kind of looks shit.
Yeah, it is exactly that. It's you in your backyard, I believe.
I've hit a point now where the beard doesn't look awful. Like it's passable now.
I don't know about that.
I need to get a haircut and a shave as well because look at this. It's stupid. I got this done like just before the lockdown, so like I'll get it done eventually, I guess. I don't want a COVID cut.
Yeah. I've always wanted like cool hair. Like, cause whenever I get a haircut, I walk into the barber and I panic. And I'm just like, give me that guy, and then it's just like the really short hair, and that's it. And then I wait until it grows long, and then I go and I'm like, give me that guy.
Yeah, that's what I do. Pretty much.
Point at the same picture on the wall every time. And so this time I waited until it was like real long. Like it was up to like here if I like pulled my hair out.
Jesus.
It was so long. And then I went to the barber and I'm like, I've always wanted cool hair. But I'm too lazy to like look up online like which hairstyles are in. So can you just give me a cool hairstyle? And he's like, okay. And you start like rattling off all these things. And I'm like, yep, sounds good. Just do it and have a look, see if it looks cool. So now he gave me like the wog haircut, where I've got like I don't know if you can see it, I've got the line here.
Yep.
Like shaved the line into my head.
At least it's not the one where you have like the sides completely shaved and like the.
Oh, the sides are shaved. The sides are
maybe it's
very
just not
short.
coming up as much on the camera.
Yeah, the sides aren't like shaved bald. They're like a 2, and then I've got the long floofy hair up top.
Yeah, I think you know the one I'm talking about. That we have the sides completely shaved and like
just, like,
the
completely
pseudo
gone.
mohawk thing going over. Yeah, and it's just like, what are you doing?
So much better being on Discord now than when I was on OBS before, because OBS doesn't mirror your screen. So I'm like, oh, the left side of my hair looks all fucked, and then I put my arm up and it's on the right side. I'm like, ah.
I really should actually mirror this because in OBS I have everything mirrored, so my room's actually backwards from the rest of my videos.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. It's probably better like this because now if I raise my left hand, it's actually my left hand.
Yeah.
Because I usually be like, oh, on my right, and it's left to those guys. So Eh. But also, you can't read my shirt as easily.
I can read it. It says love.
Yeah, sure, but like the text is backwards.
Please tell me it doesn't say anything down the bottom that's not good.
Uh, that just says Marky's name.
Okay.
What do you think it would say?
Cat's just like sitting at me, fucking screaming at me. I was hoping it did not say hentai.
Oh no, I don't have any of those shirts.
Good.
I do have a shirt that, like in big letters, just says tsundere. But it's white, and white shirts just don't come up well on camera, just because I have the blinding lights off to my side.
Yeah. One of my friends keeps buying his shirts off of coolshirts.com, whatever it is, the Cool Shirts website.
I love cool shirts.
And he's got a bunch of fucking like degenerate shirts, and then he's got this this one like it's the Japanese cover for Click, the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
and it's just like all Japanese text. It's fucking.
Okay, so OBS just crashed, and Nick has a cat in the background now. So
Yes, my dad let her into the room. Her name is Midnight.
Midnight, that's a great
Her
name.
nickname is Pisspot.
Pisspot.
Because she pisses on everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's in menopause because she's like... How old is she? Like 15?
Oh, jeez.
16? I don't know. She's real old. And yeah, so I got an... You know the Alienware bag that I used to have?
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, so she pissed on that. I left it on the ground, and she sat on top of it, and like I could tell she sat on it because it was like compressed down, and then just pissed straight into the bag. Luckily, my laptop wasn't in there at the time, and then I went to go pick it up the next day, and I'm like, why is the handle wet? Why does my hand smell like pee? So I like tried to wash the bag. Even putting it through the washing machine, like, it did not get rid of the fucking piss stain. So, for my birthday, mum got me, like, a new bag.
Oh, that's good.
And then I left that one in the lounge room. She pissed on that one as well. Luckily, yet again, my stuff wasn't in it, so I didn't get, my thousands of dollars of magic cards pissed on, and my several $100 laptop pissed on. But that one, I've been able to get the majority of the smell out. Like if you put it close to you and you smell it, like you can smell cat piss. But she didn't like piss into the bag; she just like sprayed on it.
Right.
So I wiped it like several times, disinfectant once.
I would just get a new bag.
I'm going to, but like I don't go outside. So
that's fair.
I have to go and like take the bus down to Harbour Town to go look for a bag at the bag shop down there.
Do you really have to go to Harbour Town just to buy a bag? You don't have to.
Well, like they've got good big bags there, and I need a big bag because I've got a lot of magic cards. I don't know if that came through on the mic. I've got a lot of magic cards.
I don't know. You're the one recording your audio.
Yeah, but like.
Fuck, that's gonna make it even harder to sync up now.
Get wrecked.
Oh.
Do a clap.
3, 2, 1. That's not gonna help. I'll make it happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I'm not too hopeful.
So yeah, what were we saying?
We were talking about cool shirts before. Now we'll talk about your cat pissing on stuff.
My fucking piss pot.
Yeah, your piss pot.
Yeah, so I need like a big deck, like a lot of magic cards. Because I've got 2 deck boxes that each hold 2 decks. So I've got
How
4
much is a deck?
decks. A deck is 75 cards.
Okay.
So that's like that much space for one deck.
Yeah.
Do I have my bag here? I don't. It's the bedroom. And then I've got a big long box that's like... So one deck is like that big. The deck boxes for those are like that big, and then I've got one big deck box that's like that big that holds 4 decks because they're all one format. So the 4 decks that I have in the 2 boxes are modern, and then the 4 decks that I have in the 1 big box is Commander, which is a more fun format to play than modern because modern's fucking disgusting.
I don't know anything about Magic. I'm just going to accept what you're saying.
Yeah. So I always have like my bag stacked full of shit. Is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So I need a big bag to fit all that in and my laptop. Because before my cat pissed on my Alienware bag, I broke the zip because I had my like 8 magic decks and my trade binder and my laptop all in the bag, and it just like broke the zip.
I don't know where I put my bag. Let's see if I can...
So I thought you were gonna say I don't know where I put my cat. Where is my cat?
Oh no, my cat. Well, I had a cat. She's now living in my parents' place.
Bear.
No, that was my housemate's cat at my old place.
Oh.
Uh,
You moved out. I didn't even know.
oh
you
yeah,
moved
no,
out.
I moved out of that place. God, like end of last year because it was shithole.
Oh yeah.
I was getting sick of my housemate there because he was just... I've told this story a bunch of times on the podcast, but the long and short of it is he liked to play really loud music at really early times in the morning. By really early times in the morning, I mean from midnight to 7 a.m.
Oh, wonderful. Like the sleeping hours.
Yeah, it was fun. And during that time, you know, him and his mate would just have a 40-pack of West End. And they're both in their mid-30s. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah, so is this the one that worked at Woolies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
Yeah. When I was over for that party,
Oh, yeah, you weren't... I forgot about that. That was
the entire night he was trying to convince me that I was gay.
Yeah, you would... I was fucking off my head the entire time. How did that actually go from your side? I completely forgot about that.
So Vishnu was super drunk, trying to like jump off the... You know how there was the broken fence?
Uh-huh.
Or not fence, the broken gate thing that stopped you from falling off the edge of the cliff? Yeah, he kept trying to like walk through there, even though I'm like, no, you cannot go through there. There's like broken nails and everything, and then you'll fall off the cliff. And then I finally let him come out to the fireplace. He went to smash one of your glasses on the ground. Then he did smash the glass, went to then step in it, and I'm like, no, we're going back inside. And then I took my eyes off him for like 2 seconds, and he's jumping in the fire pit, and I'm like, buddy.
I'm sorry that I couldn't help that night. I was
fine.
fucking gone by the time that
I have a funny story to tell about the guy that I hate the most in the world. And then, yeah. So I stopped drinking at like 11 or 10 after starting drinking at like 8. And yeah, I sat up until like 6 trying to get Vishnu not to fucking kill himself. And then at 6 a.m. I was trying to go to sleep, and he kept saying like, oh dude, like, oh, you took so good care of me, like you didn't have to do that, or let me pay you. I'm like, no, you're not fucking paying me, just go to sleep. He just like kept going for like 10 minutes straight, like, oh dude, my parents are rich, I'll give you money. And so I'm like, Vishnu, I've taken care of you for the last 8 hours. Shut the fuck up, or I'm going to knock you to the ground. And he shut up. I went to bed.
He's like, when he's not drunk, he's a really nice guy, but he had a lot of drinking problems at that time. And that was a, fuck. If I knew what he was going to be like that night, I wouldn't have got, as bad. But he was gone by the time I think I was already gone by the time he was gone. So there was nothing I could do to help. So I was just having lots of fun that night. And then as they got to a point where I was starting to come down, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because a couple of things I do remember is Shane almost got impaled. Because he actually slipped over near the nails. And he landed right near it. And one almost... I'd say about this far before going back, into the back of his head. Just like, what the fuck is happening tonight?
Yeah. And then Sam showed up and lit the fire for us.
Sam and Corey were there early.
Sam and Corey, yeah. And then they left, and then the fire went to shit almost immediately. And then Mark got home. His name's Mark, right?
Yeah, his name's Mark.
Yeah. Mark got home, and then was just he just fucking brought that shit back to life. He was the god of the fire.
Oh yeah, he's a cunt, but he is definitely good at starting fires.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had some experiences with Mark as well that night then.
Yeah. So he just kept trying to like convince me that I was gay because of the fact that I was helping Vishnu, and I'm like, no, I just don't want to see Vishnu die, because he's like trying to step on glass and trying to jump off cliff and trying to step in fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, dude, I think you got an ulterior motive there. I'm like, no, I don't.
Was Mark have anything to drink at that point, or was at least that you'd
No,
seen?
he was smashed. Like, he got home and was like playing catch up immediately.
Of course he was. Right, yeah, he was, because then he came out and, yeah, that's why I was completely gone that night, of course. God, that was an experience.
Yeah, he got home and like saw that people were drunk and just like guzzled four straight away, and
Mm-hmm.
then just kept drinking casually.
Fucking hell. It's certainly a story you can tell for the rest of your life now.
Oh yeah, you know, definitely, yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't fun while it was happening, or the day after.
No. I mean, the day after was fun. I got to clean.
Mm. Oh yeah,
I don't know why. I just
you
like,
helped out a
cleaning.
ton for that.
Yeah.
You really didn't
know,
have to do that.
I always just clean up after parties.
That's when I
don't know
decided
why.
that I don't like having house parties anymore. I just let someone else do the house party. I'll go to theirs. It's way easier. Like, I'll happily clean up, but like there's too much to it if someone ends up being a problem.
And then it's your house, so like you've got to
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, if someone like smashes something, it's like, now I've got to go out and get extras of those.
Well, I wouldn't really care that it's my house. My problem was that I was living with other people. Like, if someone breaks something at my house, like, whatever, that's fine. But when it's not my things, that's when it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Like, I can... If someone broke something in mine, like, they broke... If like, it broke a window, it's like, oh, they broke a window, it's fine. I can pay for a new window. But when it's not my window, or it's, like, not my glasses, or it's not this, like, that's a bit different. Because then you have to explain to something else, like, you have to explain to someone else, like, this person did this, and that's just a hassle I don't want to have. That was a fun topic. Actually,
Yeah.
that was your first time you ever met Shane. What happened to him that night? Because he was fine for a while, and then he came back inside and had something, and then was gone when he came back.
I don't know. There was that bottle of, I think it was Jameson, that
Mm-hmm.
apparently you sold Vishnu.
Sold him?
Yeah.
What?
I think Vishnu gave you money for that, for
I
like, the
don't
rest of that
remember
bottle.
getting... I don't know.
Anyway, I'm fairly sure Vishnu bought that bottle off you because there was only like a quarter of it left or something. I think Shane took a swig out of that,
Right.
and then he was just falling over and he couldn't walk, and then he was like puking up in the toilet. And
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to sit down because some reason.
I'm real happy that Brandon was there, because if he wasn't, like, that would have been way too much to deal with, because then there would have been two people who were just completely gone. Brandon was the mate that Shane brought along. He's a really chill dude, and he can actually drink like an adult.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that from what I was talking to him about, it seemed like that had happened before. And he was just like, I know how to deal with Shane when he's like this, so just let me deal with him. Let's get to something more fun.
Yay. Do we have other topics written down in your notes?
Oh, I've got tons of topics.
Epic.
So we can go back to what you... segue from what you were talking about before with the teaching, and talk about what you actually want to do, like, now that you're done with uni and stuff.
I want to play RuneScape all day.
Okay.
No,
What do you want to do with the
get a
degree?
I want to get a job as a game developer in Adelaide,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really have a project, aside from the project that I'm working on at the moment. You know Darcy?
Yes.
Yep. So we're working on, right now, doing a Unity project with C#. We're
Yep.
remaking the very first Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Yeah, so we haven't done a whole lot of it. We've got a bit of like basic character movement. We haven't done like the longer you hold jump, the higher you go. It's just like one vertical jump.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got like movement. So in that game, when you are walking left and you press right, there's a bit of a wait, like you like slow down, then you do a turning animation, and then you go in the other direction. So we've got like that pretty much down pat, and a bunch of like animation stuff, and yeah. So we're gonna do that and then release it as a free, like open source game. So aside from that project that I'm working on at the moment, I don't really have any games that I can show off to like companies and be like, here is my portfolio.
Yeah.
Please hire me. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to talk to the head of school and transfer from my finished Bachelor of Game Development into Software Engineering Honours, and then get my Honours project to be a video game that I make for an Adelaide-based game dev company.
Okay.
But of course, Stuart doesn't respond to emails. So I think it's been 7 weeks now since I got a response from him.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Was there... So you got a response of some sort?
Yeah, after 3 weeks of bugging him, I got a response, and I only got the response because one of the guys... This was back when I was doing my internship at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to one of the guys who was going to go meet with him now, and I'm like, hey, Brandon, can you go bug Stuart to email me back? And so he did that, and yeah, I got a response back like almost immediately, like, hey, sorry, every day when I leave the office, I remember I haven't sent you the email back, so here is the email back. And so I met with him the next morning at like 8 a.m. As he was walking into the office. We had a little discussion, and he said, oh, yeah, someone else has done pretty much the exact same thing as what you're doing now. They've transferred from game dev to software engineering honours. So here is essentially what you're going to have to do. I'll get back to you later about the specifics.
And
so
later never came.
Later never came. And yeah, so he said, like, oh, here's essentially what courses you have to do, because you've missed some of the courses software engineering honours have done. So you're going to have to take these courses, then you're going to have to do like 3 or 4 or something level 5 electives, and your ICT project, like your specialist major 2, because I can be credited for specialist major 1 for my project that I've already done, and then project 2 is going to be the new one that I want to do, the game that I'm going to make.
Because your ICT specialist is basically a full year ICT project, so you'd just be credited first semester basically.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because ICT project was only 1 semester.
Yeah, because we're actually doing, like, ICT project and specialist guys do stuff together. It's the same course, it's just longer.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that, and then I went online and tried to find the level 5 electives. I could only find like 2, but I needed to do... It was either 3 or 5 or something, level 5s. I literally couldn't find...
I have a list of them. You can also bother Jo about it, and she'll send you a list.
Okay.
Because there's not a list anywhere. It's a problem they know they have.
I looked all over the course website, and I just couldn't find them.
Yeah.
And I sent him back an email saying, like, yeah, I can't find them. Can you tell me what they are? And he hasn't responded since then.
Yeah, I know that, like, when people went and asked Jo about it, she was like, yeah, we know we actually have this problem, and no one's bothered to fix it yet, so... Usually they'll... Whenever the, like, my guys are trying to find their electives, you can ask her, she'll be like, oh, can you send me a list of them as well? So, it's going to be easy to find.
Yeah. And if any of your viewers are first-year UniSA students, I might be teaching...
Or one of them.
One of them, yeah. I might be teaching them in whatever it's called, the new Python subject for next semester. I think it's object-oriented programming.
Okay.
Because if you haven't heard about that, currently it goes, you do Python in first semester, in first year, and then second semester, first year, you would have changed to Java for object-oriented programming. But now we're doing object-oriented programming in Python for the second semester of first year. You don't learn Java until second year. Just because I think it was a bit too much for some students going from learning scripting in Python and then going straight to Java and having to learn object-oriented and Java at the same time. Yeah.
That does make sense. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like split up. So now when you go to Java in second year, you already know object-oriented, so you're just learning Java in that course.
Right, okay. Because yeah, Java it's a very different paradigm to learning Python. Like obviously they both can be LO languages, but Java, it's got some weird stuff about it where it tries to put every single possible thing in an object.
Yeah. Java is a bit weird.
I don't like Java.
I've been doing a bit of work back in Python just to refresh myself in case I get this job. And like there are a lot of things about Python that I don't like, but there are a few things that I like over Java. Like especially like file reading. File reading is so easy in Python. You just like make a file reader and then it's there. You've got the strings.
Have you come across F strings?
F strings? No.
I'm gonna let's hope that it doesn't crash again. Python F string. Here we go. Is this gonna be it? I'm gonna put a thing in the chat, and I'm gonna open it in OBS, and OBS is not going to crash. Okay, it didn't crash. Cool. An F string is basically a way that you can do string formatting. So instead of having to do string, like the %s string arguments, it's sort of just like a easy way to do it. If you go down to where it says simple syntax, basically you can put your variables encased within curly braces and just stick them within a string.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a pretty neat way to handle string replacements.
Yeah, you can do a similar thing with string.format in Java. You put out your string and then do dot format, and you give it another string, I believe, that is similar to this, where you got the braces.
Yeah, Python has a string.format as well, by the looks of it. Yeah, but in string.format you have to specify the arguments in the actual format function. So it's just a little bit neater than doing that.
Yeah.
Cool, it didn't crash again. I don't know why OBS is so unstable on Linux. It's actually a complete mess. Maybe it's just my hardware. So you're relearning Python and you're kind of liking it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like when I switched from Python to Java in like first year, I was like, oh my god, Python bad. And now I'm like, Python, like it has its uses. It's not just a terrible language that everyone starts on and then forgets immediately. Like it's used for a specific reason. It's not a programming language. It's a scripting language, and if you write scripts in it, you can do good things. You can do easy things.
Yeah, there's a lot of people especially in the Linux sphere, who like to use Python for things it's not really designed for. There's a really popular file manager that's written in Python. Not a good idea.
Yeah, you don't. Is there a GUI on that one, or is it?
No, it's a terminal file manager.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's all right. Like you don't make GUIs with Python. That's not something that.
Hey, but there's a Python game engine. There's Pygame. Also, well, no, there is one sort of game you do make with Python, and that is visual novels, because they don't need to be quick.
Yeah.
I don't know what the library was called, but that's what Doki Doki was made in.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Hopefully, it's not what Yandere Simulator is made in.
No, that is it started as a JavaScript Unity project, and then migrated over to C#. But he's really bad at programming.
Oh yeah. No. I think his source code leaked.
It did. RenPy was what it was called. Yeah, RenPy was the visual novel library I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you saying about source code?
Yeah. His source code leaked, and it was utterly disgusting. I haven't read it myself, but I've seen people like just shit talk it on Reddit and stuff.
There's a lot of videos breaking it down.
He's doing things like instead of doing like Unity have coroutines that you can just make this coroutine do one thing on a loop, or you can do it after a certain time. He just does everything in his update loop. Like things that only need to be rendered once, he'll render an update loop. It's like.
No, my favorite is when he's using if statements to do maths. That's always beautiful. It's just like, you do know what like a multiplier is, don't you? Like, what are you doing?
And yeah, Aiden back in the day, Aiden used to go on about him constantly, and he would always say about how he uses instead of using classes like for different things, like this is an I, so it's given the I class. It would have a string for the class, then he would do string comparison, like if type is in quotes I.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's so much slower than just doing if it type of I.
I didn't know about that.
No,
I know
yeah.
those.
Like string comparison is so much slower than just like knowing what it is because it is that class.
If you want to do it like that, then just do it as an enum, because then that's basically just an integer comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there's also some weird stuff where he's made some of the buildings out of separate components, even though that could just be one big component. I'm not a game dev guy, so I'm not sure what the terminology is, but it's a bunch of separate models instead of being one big contained model. And it's just like, that's way slower than it needs to be. There's also some texture mapping that's done completely wrong and just doesn't work. And it's kind of just, it works because it's kind of close enough. But if you was to slightly move the model, it just would fall apart.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's just not how you develop at all.
No. It's, what I imagine it being like is when I first learnt React, when I learnt React, I was learning how to do modern web development as I was writing it. So there were parts where I was learning about cool things and then just trying them out, even though they didn't make any sense at all. It's just like, oh, I can, it's been a while since I've done React. It's like, oh, I can do ternary statements to generate all of my junk. Oh, let's just do ternary statements for everything. Or I can put everything in a component, so I'm gonna do that. And it's just like, no, don't do that.
Well, yeah, I found out that there's a thing you can do in C# called a ternary bool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so instead of being true or false, it's true, false, or null.
Uh-huh.
And so I started using that for like a ton of things because I'm like, this is so cool. And then I realized that it's just a lot better to just use an enum.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to go change all of that because it was
Wait,
stupid.
that's weird. That didn't even click for a moment. Yeah, what?
Yeah. So instead of the bool being like a raw type that's just a 0 or a 1,
Mm-hmm.
it's now an object that can be null because it's an object. So it can either be like null, like not instantiated, or it can be true or false. But even then, like it doesn't get the raw type true and the raw type false.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually an object. It's like how there's like bool and then there's boolean.
Yeah, yeah.
Like boolean is like the wrapper.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has like an entire wrapper. So it's like a lot less efficient in memory.
Well, yeah, because enums are basically just effectively just a constant. Depending on your language you're using, they're pretty much just a named integer.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Java does them a little bit differently.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, Java used to not actually have enums. They used to be, they used to just be static final variables in a class.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely seen like APIs that just have static final variables like that.
Yeah, and that's because it didn't have enums when it first came out, and that's why it was like that. It was a bad idea, but
Yeah.
because Java's just written in a
worked.
weird way like that. Anyway, you're saying?
I was saying something and I forgot what it was. I was going to say something about C# and how I was doing things each frame. Oh, actually, I remember now. So with my internship that I was doing at the start of the year, so I was doing a VR project on the HoloLens, and if you know anything about the HoloLens, you know that it is god awful at rendering. Like, not only do things render crappily, it has a tiny CPU. Because it has to be like light enough to be on your head and not like hurt you, it has to have really weak hardware.
Oh, I didn't know the HoloLens was an enclosed device.
Oh yeah, no. It's one thing. You strap it on, and there's no cords or anything. Everything's done from this. It doesn't connect to a computer or anything. So yeah, it isn't like the Oculus Rift stuff where they connect to your phone or your computer. It's all itself. Self.
One of these.
Yeah.
Delvisor.
I forgot about my Oculus Rift, but it's behind a bunch of shit. So yeah, I had to like design everything in such a way that I was being extremely efficient. So when I finished my project, like I was running, I don't know how much Unity development you've done.
I'm doing Unity development right now. That's what my project's in.
Oh, you are, yeah, because you're on ICT project, yeah. So you know the GameObject.find thing where you can do GameObject.find with like capital G, and then give it a name, like as a string, and it will go find that object in the scene.
No, I didn't know about that. Most of my project's
okay.
already done. I'm kind of just building on top of it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So if you do game object with capital G, capital O, dot find, give it a string, it'll search through your object hierarchy to find an object with that name.
Sure.
Or you can do find object of type and give it the whatever they're called, these braces, the triangle braces.
Yeah.
And give it a type, and it will go and find all objects of that type in your scene.
Yeah, sure.
And then it'll return an array, and you can search through the array to find the one with the right name. That's a really expensive task to perform. Like, it'll take like quite a few milliseconds because it has to search through every single object, and if you've got like actors in your scene that have different body parts, it's got to go through every single body part and see, is this object this type? And that's like, it's expensive.
Sure.
So the thing that you're told to do in like the documentation is to never use that in an update loop. You only ever use it in your like start method. So it finds everything, assigns references, and then later when you need them during your update loop, you have the reference already.
Right.
So I made sure I did that for everything. Then I passed off my internship when I'd finished it to Kung and Sasindu to use for their ICT project, because Kung's doing his specialist ICT projects. He's doing the 2 semesters, and Sasindu is doing 1 semester. So he's just doing the normal ICT project.
Sure.
And so they're both doing it this semester. I think they've finished it now because it's week
they would have
14 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went through and I explained everything to them, took them through the hierarchy, because when I got this project, it was already like started, but the previous team had moved back to China.
Right.
And none of them spoke English, so none of the commenting was like legible.
Oh,
so
wait, did they write the comments
really
in English still?
They wrote it in English, but like where there was commenting, which was barely anywhere, it was in English, but it was really broken English, and it was like very obviously like Google translated, because it didn't make sense.
Right.
So we had to go through and like figure out where objects are being passed to. Like they had we had to communicate with a Bluetooth device and then communicate to a server that's running on a computer. But they never told us if there was an order it had to be done in. Like if you have to turn the heart rate monitor on, strap it to your body, then put the HoloLens on, then turn the server on. There was no instructions on how to install the server, how to get the IP address correct, what network you had to be on. None of that stuff. So we spent 8 weeks, I think, just figuring out how to start the project. So I went through and I explained everything step by step, so they knew how to start. And so they started in like week 2 or week 3, whereas we started in week 8, week 9. And I'm going back every now and then because Kung comes up to me and he's like, hey, I need to do this thing and the animation thing isn't working. I don't know how to fix it. So I'll go in and I'm like, okay, yep, you just haven't bound this to the right object or stuff like that. And I'll teach them how to do it, because they haven't done Unity development before, and I've done a bit of it because I did this project. So yeah, I'll go back and I'll shout at them because, like, what are you doing? That, yeah, it's real fun. I'm like, no, Kung, I'm telling you to type console.writeLine. So type console.writeLine. I get very angry when I watch Kung type. But yeah, so I'll do that, and I look at what they're doing, and it's like, I've specifically told you, don't run gameObject.find in your update loop. He's doing it every single frame. He's calling this function like 4 times. And I'm like, you have like 300 objects in your scene. This is going to run a for loop over 1,200 objects every frame. There are 60 frames in a second. You're getting like 12 of them.
Oh,
do you
Lord.
know how weak the HoloLens is? And he'll like run it on the HoloLens. He's like, oh, I'm getting so much shit frames. I'm like, I know why you're getting shit frames, buddy.
Yeah, mine's not as bad because I have, like, mine's not an enclosed system, but it still runs like arse, and I know why. It's because they do it. It's a data visualization program, and they're updating stuff every frame. Like, there's thousands of data points, and they're updating every frame.
Oh, yucky. How are they updating it? Are they like contacting a database?
No, it's read in from a CSV file and put
Oh, that's even worse.
into an array. No, it's loaded into memory.
Oh, okay.
It is in
it's not
memory. It's
reading,
just yeah.
It's not reading from the file every frame.
No.
Okay.
It does that at the start, which is good. If it was reading from the file every frame, just give up. Oh lord. Yeah, because with my project, ours was maybe a little bit worse because we didn't just have broken English. We had no comments. The only comments were the APIs they were bringing in from external systems. So, like you'd use like the Unity library for the Oculus library for Unity, and it's like this is well commented, and then you get to any of the things they wrote, and it's just like 1,000 lines, not a single comment, and the variable names with like YE. It's like, what does that mean? What are you trying to tell me here? It will.
Yeah.
At least we didn't have to.
I've got students who like they get shouted at by their group because of their variable naming. Like that. Like, see, when I do GUI programming, I have my variable names very particular. So if it's a label that displays the username, it'll be LBL for label and then username and then LBL password. So like I assign each type of object a 3-letter code, and then that 3-letter code appears at the beginning of each of them.
Sure.
He had done that for one of his 7 labels. The rest of them were label 2, label 7, label 69, and then just random words that came into his head as he was typing. Like, it wasn't the same. Like if it was label 1, label 2, label 3, label 4, label 5, that'd be fine.
That'd be bad enough.
Label 79, it's like a random number, and then just whatever he thought of.
What? Why a random number?
I don't know. Like, it's like label 45.
Sure.
Like, you don't even have 45 labels. Like, just stop. Just please.
What a mess. Yeah, for me, I don't tend to abbreviate much. I tend to use full names, so I end up with really long variable names, but...
So, yeah, when we were doing, I think it was computer design concept or something, one of the ones that was done by... Oh, I can't remember his name now. One of the lecturers that everyone loves. The one that plays Overwatch all the time.
Adam?
Adam, yes. One of Adam's courses, he told us, I don't care if your variable names are 100 characters. If they make sense, they make sense.
That's what he told us in the iOS course. Because he was like, oh, it's all closed source anyway. No one's going to see it. Just 100 character variable names.
Yeah, so for that assignment... I don't think we had a variable, even like a temporary variable, that was less than 30 characters. Like, if I was searching through an array to find an object, the current object in the array would be called, this is the current object in the array that I'm searching through.
Oh, Lord.
When I'm programming, my current variable will be current. If I'm iterating over a loop, you've got current. But that variable was, this is the current variable that I'm looking at in the array that I'm searching through. It was fucking garbage, but like...
I always just use I for loops, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I use I for the index, but if I'm doing like a for each loop, because like for each loops you name the object. So if you're searching through like a list of strings, then the current string is called current instead of the like index.
The way I usually do it with my arrays, I'll say if I have like an array of hands, I'll call the hands array hands, and then in the for each, I'll just call it the singular.
Hand.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes do that as well. Yeah.
It just seems like it makes a bit more sense like that, because then you get a little bit more context about what's actually happening.
Yeah. It depends. Like in that specific example, if the array was called hands, I wouldn't use hand. If it was because then like it's only one character off if I misread something and I try to do hands or hand.
Right.
So in that situation, I'd be having the array hands and I would do current. But if the array was called like all hands, then I would have current is hand.
Right. Okay.
Because then it's a very different name and I can tell immediately. Because in my IDE, if I type HA and then hit enter, I don't know if HA is going to autocomplete to hand or hands. It'll be whatever it thinks I want.
That makes
And
sense.
I use autocomplete like a lot.
What do you
I
actually
barely
normally
ever
use your
type the
IDE?
entire thing. So if I'm doing Java development, and obviously IntelliJ.
It's the only
If
correct
I'm doing,
answer.
yeah, only correct answer, correct. I have Eclipse installed because I have to mark with Eclipse because that's what my students wrote in, and if there's a difference between Eclipse and IntelliJ, then I'm marking them incorrectly.
Right, makes sense. Okay.
If it worked on their system, it has to work on my system. But yeah, so I have Eclipse. I don't like developing in it because it's garbage. So IntelliJ, Master Race. Kenley got me into that and never gone back. If I'm doing C#, it's Visual Studio. I hated using what's it called? Pi something. No, I was doing
PyCharm?
Python. No, it wasn't PyCharm. Oh no, it wasn't even called Pi something. It was Anaconda.
Oh, you used Anaconda.
We used Anaconda for AI, and I hated Anaconda when I started it. Actually, wait, no. Anaconda was the... We had Anaconda installed, but it was actually Jupyter that we used, I think.
Right, okay.
Jupyter was like the web version of it.
I think I did everything in Jupyter for that one.
Yeah. So yeah, I used that because it was the web interface thingy. It was really weird because it ran a server and I didn't really understand it. But yeah, so I started hating it when I started using it, but then as I got further into it, it was actually really cool because you can run your starting thing and then you don't have to run that ever again. You just rerun your code after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't make sense when I started doing it, and I would move around things to the wrong order, and then I would try to run variables. I would try to access variables before I declared them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's cool.
Because I know
probably not
Kenley likes to... He doesn't actually use Visual Studio from what I know. Unless he needs the Microsoft GUI stuff, he'll use CLion.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure. Maybe I'm thinking of C++. No. Yeah, C++ he was using CLion instead of Qt Creator.
Yeah, I have CLion installed and I don't want to install Qt Creator because if I ever have to do C++, I'm not going to use fucking Qt.
Yeah, no, if you need to do Qt development, do Qt Creator, but otherwise, don't.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realize... sorry.
There's one open source project that I want to work on. It's a Minecraft launcher. And I want to add some features to it so that it's easier to download mod packs, but I have to install Qt Creator to...
Oh, it's a Qt project, is it?
Yeah, it is. I just don't want to do it. I tried doing it. I got 30 gigs into the download and then it failed, and then I had to restart it. And I'm like, nope, uninstall. Goodbye.
I didn't realize that Qt was actually being used for anything. Turns out that that was until I got to Linux, and then I realized that there with KDE, all of the stuff is Qt. And that's one of the biggest desktop environments. I just didn't know. I thought it was being used for nothing. I thought, why are people paying $1,000 a year for this thing? Turns out that's why.
Yeah. So are you still on Arch?
I'm on Arch right now, yes.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a fake fan. I haven't actually watched many of the videos.
That's fine. I'm always surprised when I do bring people on. They're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen your videos." Why?
Yeah, I watched a few of your videos back when you were doing the shed videos, and then I think I've watched 3 of your videos that haven't been in your shed, but
they're much better now.
See, I've got a ton of your videos on my watch later, but my watch later on YouTube, let me see how long it is. It's about 2,000 videos.
Anything on my watch later is accidentally put there because I don't ever use it.
My watch later, which was updated today when I added your video to it, is 1,817 videos long.
Jesus.
So while we're talking, I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of it and then hit Control F and type in Brody and see how many of your videos on my watch later. Cause I've added a ton of your videos to my watch later. There are videos in here that I added 2018 probably.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've got
a
bit over 300 videos now, so you've probably got a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat's back.
I probably... Oh. She's always been there. I've probably just been covering her.
Yeah. Probably.
Unless she just jumped up. I don't know.
Oh, now you're going to lick yourself. Cool.
Yeah, licking butthole.
I think that's
Thanks,
that's
guys.
YouTube friendly. I don't know.
If we're talking about YouTube friendly, we've sworn a lot in this video. You're probably gonna get demonetized.
I don't make money on this channel anyway. Anyway, what were you looking for? Right, my
I think I'm
videos.
still in 2018. Yeah, your videos. See how many are in here? Because yeah, I probably add a third or 2/3 of your videos to watch later. Because there are ones that are like about like Linux and stuff that I'll add because I'm eventually gonna install Linux and do some shit. But oh, I'm at the bottom. Okay.
Why did you scroll to the bottom?
Because.
Oh, does it need to actually? It's not an infinite list, is it? It just has to load stuff in, doesn't it?
I have 123 videos of yours in my watch later. Because you've got to. It only loads 200 videos at a time, and then you've got to scroll down to go to the next 200.
Makes sense.
You can't just click like load all, and then it loads the entire list, which is really annoying. When I have like my music playlist with like 400 songs.
Jesus Christ! You're never gonna go back and watch those, are you?
Oh no, okay. So when I open YouTube, what I do is I look at like the recommended for you tab, like very top tab has got the like 10 videos, whatever, it's 8 videos, and I'll see like, oh, Lewis Spears video, film theory video, offline TV video. I'll open all them in a new tab, watch all of them, and then grab my watch later. If no one's called me in that time, in the like hour of those few videos I've watched, I'll go to my watch later and just start clearing through it all.
So what is the oldest video of mine you have on that list? Because I want to know if you even should watch that. Because you probably shouldn't.
Okay, let me. I got out of it, so I went to my homepage.
Oh, okay,
so
sorry.
I'm gonna scroll down a bit, I would assume. Let me see.
Because I know that my video, like, people for some reason like my content, but I wasn't happy with it until I was happy with it at the time, but looking back, I don't think my channel was watchable until about maybe 3 months ago. I don't know why, like, the shared videos were so bad. They were, like...
No, they were amazing, dude. Also, like, do you only talk about Linux now?
Pretty much. I have a couple of... I try to keep it on Linux, but I also do a couple of side techie things, like I had a video yesterday where I talked about my dead CPU, my 3900X, $800 CPU that I killed.
Okay, so my earliest video of yours is simplifying my life with some simple shell script, and that was released when?
Simplifying my life. What the hell was that?
Ads on your videos, dude. GG.
Oh yeah, I've been I noticed my ad revenue went up, and I was like, why did my ad revenue go up? And then I remembered I enabled mid-rolls.
Yeah.
So
19th of August 2019.
Simplifying my life with shell script. Let's see if I can find it.
With some simple shell script. I can just like send you the link.
You could just send me the link. That'd be much easier.
Yeah.
I want to see how bad my thumbnail used to be. I wasn't really happy with my thumbnails until... Oh, Lord. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I
recognize this voice instantly. Oh, no, it was Depression Brody. Oh, and I was sick at the time as well. Oh, Lord, look at this dude. You guys won't be able to hear the audio because Nick's actually recording his audio separately today. And it has 178 views now. People are going back and watching my old content. Oh.
It's got 6 likes. It's going to have 7 now. Also,
I was so depressed back then. What is...
In between talking, I've been removing names from this meme that I shared on my Facebook, so now you can have this, because there's no last names in it now.
Oh, okay.
So this is what I was talking about before. Me helping Kung versus me helping Gemma.
Can I get a link to this? Copy link. There we go. Every time I click this thing to change the scene, I'm worried that I'm gonna crash again. If anyone listening, so it says guys helping other guys to code versus guys helping a girl to code, and there's a picture of Angry Hulk, and then Smart Hulk.
Yeah, so it's like me like helping Kung to code. I'm like, you mother piece of shit. And then it's like, Gemma, you have to add the pane to the correct other pane.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Here is the code that you need to type to do that.
That sounds a lot like when people were helping Nick out as well.
Helping me?
Monique.
Oh, Monique. I think they said Nick, yeah.
No. Yeah. Just like, this is something really basic. Or like, what was his name? The dude who, first year that everyone hated, who would always ask everyone questions in messages.
Kung?
No, not Kung. He wasn't friends with anyone. He just would send everyone DMs.
Lachlan?
No, not Pugsley.
No, not Pugsy, the other one. Courier.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I don't remember
He
his name.
dropped out at the same time as Pugsley. So.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was. There was a guy who would always just ask everyone questions, and no one wanted to listen to him because it's like, this is basic stuff. It's one thing if you're asking, like, oh, I don't understand this thing about this complex thing about Bayesian theory or something like that. That's different. But if you're like, how does an array work? It's like, come on.
What do you mean, how does an array work? Did you pay attention in any of the lectures, or have you started work on your assignments?
With the second years now, they haven't got any experience with Git yet, do they?
No, they don't, because you learn that second semester, second year.
That must be fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, that was how it always was.
Yeah.
So we had to do our assignments just by emailing each other code, but Theo, you know Theo?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So he wanted his group, 'cause he's one of my students. He wanted his group to do Git for their assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, why did you do that? No one knows how to use Git. Not even like he knows how to use Git very well.
I thought he would have known if he was suggesting it.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, it's really good. Everyone uses it to develop. It's like, oh, okay, sure, we'll use it then if it's that good. And no one knows how anything works. It's like, just wait until next semester. Just like do what we did, email each other code. So like yeah, like a lot of doing this teaching has been like telling people how to combine their work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just told everyone like each week have each member of your group email the code that they have written, or like the files that they have changed, to one person. Then that person will compile all of the code together in one working program. That person zips up the project, sends it back out. Everyone deletes all of their work and just imports that project, and then you work from there. And you only change the minimum you have to in like your file. Don't change stuff in other people's files, because that's like the simplest way you can do it without using Git. And people just can't understand that.
No, that's too complex. Honestly, they should be doing like. I would like to see Git move to first year.
Yeah, no, I've said that many times. Like it should definitely be like second semester, first year.
What does the course layout for first year look like now?
I think it's pretty much the same, except SAD PM is now a thing, and second semester you do Python.
Let's see if I can find the list.
Do you know what SAD PM is?
No.
Systems analysis, design, and project management.
Oh.
It's all one course. Instead of being 3 courses, it's one course.
20. Wait. That's fun, isn't it? So yeah, okay. This is the current one. So we have ITF, so Information Technology Fundamentals, Problem Solving and Programming, Network Fundamentals, and then Design Thinking Studio. And that I'm guessing is replacing D2DI.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the one that Marty's teaching.
Ah, right. Yeah, he did talk about that last time.
Yeah. I saw that video you had with Marty in it. I watched the 10-minute video.
He's got an interesting Corona cut, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I did give him shit for that beard. Like, what was going on there?
It's almost like your beard.
And we've also got object-oriented programming, data-driven web technologies. So that's web dev now. Systems requirements and user experience. What is that supposed to be?
I don't know. Actually,
And then
maybe they don't have SAD PM.
And then you've got System Requirements Studio.
I was told they were doing SAD PM. I think they've split it into more.
Yeah, they might have split it into two things or something.
Yeah. Also, actually, I think system requires user experience. I think that's is that Ross's course?
Let's find out.
Who's the coordinator?
That is Ross, yes. Oh, Ross
Yeah.
and Andrew.
So
That's
I
interesting.
think what Ross was saying is IDI, interface design, interaction, and experience, is splitting into interface design and interface like implementation. So you know how like the first half of the course is all like writing up documentation, making personas, making screen designs, screen layouts, and all that. So that's going to be one course, and then creating the actual interface in JavaFX or in Swing or whatever language they end up choosing, like programming the interface is going to be a different course.
So the programming stuff is gonna. I'm guessing they're gonna have to get you to actually make like a better interface then, because you'd be doing it in 3 weeks otherwise.
Yeah. 'Cause yeah, you start week 7, you start doing the actual programming.
Right.
In the current course. So yeah, it will have to be a lot better interface.
Either that or they just give you more about building interfaces before that, I guess. Actually show you proper like how to build an interface, like not just just make GUI screens, like what's the architecture that has to go behind it?
Yeah.
Because you don't really get any of that until you get to web dev, really.
Yeah. And like you get a bit of it in game dev as well.
Okay, yeah.
In mobile game dev.
Yeah.
But that's only for the game dev students, it's not for everyone.
I did it as an elective.
Yeah.
So what courses do you actually still have to do? Because I don't think you mentioned them.
Okay. I had them written down.
I know you have systems architecture. You haven't done that yet.
I'm trying to log into my mail because
what would you not have done? Because I know you diverged in second year.
I didn't do.
Oh, you didn't do the maths courses.
The math. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I couldn't remember what they were called though. Comp Sci Foundations.
Yes, Comp Sci Foundations and Computer Science Topics for Software Engineers, which is a stupidly long name. That course was actually pretty fun. We went over things like, by the end of it, actually turned into a linguistics course. So we had things like Chomsky normal form and stuff like that. And that was actually kind of fun.
Yeah. What I don't like... I reinstalled my Windows 10 onto my SSD, because I had an SSD for like a year and a half and never ended up actually using it.
Right.
Then I finally like plugged it in, put Windows 10 onto it, and I've been using that. And it boots up in like 15 seconds instead of like 20 entire minutes, which is real fast now. But I've been having errors with Vivaldi lately, and it's just really annoying. Like, I tried to log into my mail on like a normal tab, and it just goes, something went wrong, and I would go into a private tab and it works perfectly fine.
Are you using the actual web client for my mail?
Yeah.
I use Thunderbird.
What's Thunderbird?
Email. It's a desktop email client.
Okay.
And I've got like all of my emails logged into that one.
I had been using the Windows 10 mail, which is all right because it like combines all your inboxes into one. If you want to, you can like tell it which ones to combine. But it wouldn't actually let me send emails through my UniSA email address. It let me send emails through my Gmail and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I actually went to send, it would return them back to me and be like, hey.
The reason for that is Outlook actually needs like a separate plugin to do stuff like that. Thunderbird has the same problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here I've got the email that I sent to Stuart. So
Yep.
I've got to do research methods, ICT specialist major project 2. I've got to do a level 4 or 5 high elective, and that's my entirety of study period 5 for this year. If I was going to do it this year, and then next year I've got to do systems architecture, a level 4 or 5 high elective, and then another high elective that's going to be Comp Sci Foundations, because apparently that's not part of the actual degree, and then something else, which I couldn't remember what it was.
Comp Sci Foundations isn't part of the degree? What?
Like, I don't know, like, I don't think you had to do that one, because he didn't say it.
I don't think I picked it as an elective. Maybe I did.
No. Either way, if it's not one of the required courses, I'm going to do it anyway, because it looked like it was a cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my first email to him went out 25th of March.
I think the first sign for CompSci Foundations was about proving pi, which was fun.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys doing that one where you had to like generate random x and y coordinates inside a circle and then prove that like a certain percentage of those were inside the circle instead of being outside.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that actually looked like fun. Like there's certain things in maths that like I just don't like parabolas. I just hate parabolas.
Okay, sure.
And there's a reason for that. It's because my year 10, my year 11 maths it wasn't spec. It was studies, math studies.
Right.
I was away for one lesson, one double lesson. We did the entirety of chapter M in the textbook.
Right.
And I was not even told. Like we entered and left chapter M the day that I was gone. Not a single person, including the teacher, told me I'd missed anything at all.
Jesus.
And then the week after, we had a test on that chapter with no test revision, anything. And I was like, we didn't learn this shit. She's like, yeah, we did last Monday. I'm like, I wasn't here last Monday. It's like, oh, well, too bad, you fail now.
Oh.
And so I didn't learn parabolas at all, and it just had a fucking bad taste in my mouth ever since.
I did maths apps.
Yeah, I went down to apps. I was forced. That was my only ever D, aside from university Ds. Like my only ever high school D. Like the lowest score I've ever gotten. The only time I've ever gotten something below a C in uni and in high school. And I was forced out of studies because of that. I went to apps and just loved apps. It was so easy, dude.
Yeah, it was dead simple. I always got A's in maths, so going down to apps, I was like, this is great. I'm doing box plots. I'm doing like all this basic stuff. It's great. And
I made a meat basket. In apps, we had to make a business and then do like a spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing.
How much we had to put into our like basket of goods. We had like 3 different baskets of goods, and each of them had to have different products in them. We had to source them we had to like find prices off websites, source them, all that. And I made 3 different meat baskets. They were just entirely meat.
That's so great.
Good. And so it was like I had like your premium basket had like your Dorsonia leg ham, which cost a fuck ton. You get it from this retailer, and the cheap basket was like Woolworths brand leg ham that had like no seasoning on it. It was just like plain ham.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just like that. It was such a fun assignment.
What did you do in your final year of high school? Because I did obviously maths apps. I did woodworking. I did we were forced to do workplace practices, which is basically OHS nonsense. I had my final year project, whatever that was called. I don't remember.
Your research project?
Yeah, because I kind of got mine pushed back into year 12 somehow.
Yeah, you got your year 12 project actually in year 12 instead.
Yeah, we started it in year 11, and then they were just like, this isn't good enough, and just got me to do it again. Or continue it, I guess. I actually had a game development course as well, and that was in Java. It was in with the Greenfoot library.
I did like all of the IT courses that my high school offered, and we did the same course year 10, 11, 12.
Yep, I know the feeling.
We repeated the same course. So year 10, it was called IT computer concept or something.
Yeah.
So in there we did a bit of Microsoft Access database stuff.
Oh wow, that's actually impressive.
We did some like Excel programming, and we did JavaScript. And in JavaScript we made Duros's Euros's, because our teacher was Nick Duros. He's a big Greek boy, loves his Euros's. So we made Duros's Euros's, which is the Euros shop.
That's beautiful. I love that.
You would go up to the Euros shop, and there would just be JavaScript prompts saying like, do you want lettuce? Do you want tomato? Do you want beef or lamb? Sorry, blah blah is not a response. Please choose beef or lamb. And then it would go, here's your price for your euros, and it would just like append it to the page in JavaScript. It was like just like a basic JavaScript page.
And you're probably really proud of that, and you're like,
I was so proud.
and
like,
now you look
I
back
had
and it's like,
an if
wow, that
statement.
would have taken me a day.
I had an if statement that tested to see if you were a male, you were allowed to go into the nightclub. If you were a female, you weren't, because no girls allowed. That was one of the assignments that we had to write. It was something like if gender equals M, are you over 18? Yes, no. If gender equals F, no girls allowed. And that was the entire assignment. We submitted that. Okay. And then thing is, so that was a year 10 course. We did like bit of database stuff in Access. Access is really cool. You don't need to do SQL. Like, it has SQL there that you can write if you want to, but it's like you can do it entirely visually. It's real cool. And then year 11 we had ITA and ITB. So you only had to do one of them, or you didn't have to. Like, if you wanted to do year 12 IT, you had to get a B or higher in either ITA or ITB. And since ITA and ITB didn't have a prerequisite of the computer design course from year 10, we did like database and Excel spreadsheets in ITA. ITB was JavaScript and something else, some not program. I think we did like how to take apart a computer and like install RAM and stuff. And how to like take the jumper switch off when you forget the BIOS password to reset it.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that for ITB, and then since IT in year 12 didn't have a prerequisite of both ITA and ITB, we had to spend the entire year reviewing ITA for the students that didn't do ITA and ITB for the students that didn't do ITB. The problem was, that's theoretically how it worked. But there was one class for ITA, one class for ITB, and one class for IT, and all three of the classes had the exact same students.
Yeah, no shit. Of course it did.
Because you're not just going to do ITA, you're going to do ITA and B. And then if you want to do year 12 IT, you just do everything. Like,
yeah, what weird...
So we had the exact same class, but because of the way that it worked, he actually had to go back and do everything again. So year 12 and year 10 were the exact same.
There are only so many kids at a school who like are weird enough to be like, I want to do programming all the time.
But yeah, so in IT, we had the funniest moment. So I'm gonna see if I can find his website. But I don't think I can. I forgot what his name is. Our IT guy was called Conrad. And wait, is that him?
That was quick.
No, that isn't him. Damn.
Okay.
See. Wait. Oh no, I thought it was Incompetech. I'm like, oh no, wait, no. Incompetech is McLeod. He added Conrad, our IT guy, had a website where he put music that he made. Music was fucking terrible. And he was like this like real boomer dude. But he was the IT guy there. And everyone hated him. And in year 12, like one of the like last 2 weeks, we thought, you know, it'd be funny if we printed the D&D Player's Handbook, which is like 550 pages long.
Wait, for which volume? Of which version?
5th edition.
5th edition, okay.
Yeah. So we tried to print that because like we have like we get like $30 printer credit a year, and it just stacks up. So we had like $110 by the end of it. We barely ever printed anything. So we just tried to print it because like we can get it in color for free. We don't have to pay like $50 to get the actual copy of it. Turns out the Player's Handbook's like 2 gigs. Our printer server had a RAM of about 500 megs. So it filled up the print servers, like the print queue's RAM filled up immediately as we tried to print it. Didn't even print a single page. But they had been very smart when they set up the printers. They put in the uninterrupted power supply thingy-majiggy so that if the server crashes, it restarts immediately and it doesn't lose the queue. but the queue was full. So it crashed when it launched with the same RAM, and then it launched, and then it crashed.
So you put it in a boot loop, basically.
Yeah, we did. And we couldn't do shit about it, because we couldn't cancel the queue, because as soon as the server came up, the queue would load into our computer, and we couldn't click cancel fast enough, because it would crash again. Conrad, like, the IT office was, like, just down the hall from the IT room, and he could tell which student sent that print request and what computer they were on. We just hear thundering footsteps. He's like running down the hall and is like, "Is Joshua Maylard in this room?" And then Josh is like, yeah. He's like, "What did you do? What did you try to print?"
Dungeons and Dragons.
The handbook? Why'd you do that? You broke our server.
Stop making it so shit.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah, my IT guys were all like 20-something-year-olds who just finished uni and were all useless. They would sit there, literally, you'd see through their window. You'd see them playing Minecraft all day. Because we had a school Minecraft server, and I think the reason they set it up was so they could have a server. Like, they was like, oh, well, the kids are setting up servers on their computers anyway, so we should have a school Minecraft server. That's not why they did it. They wanted their own server. And then they could business expense it, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for year 10, we had to do work placement, and I already had a job at Big Dub. I got my Big Dub job in year 9, I believe.
Fuck.
Just because I was $10 an hour. So me and my friend Hakeem just got jobs immediately. We went to a group interview. Group interview had like 50 people in there. We were the only 2 in that interview to get jobs because we were $10 an hour, 15-year-old workers.
Yeah.
And then so when we got into our personal learning plan, PLP.
Oh, that was a fun one.
Where you were supposed to make a resume and apply for different jobs. I was like, yeah, I have a job. Can I just sit in the corner and play Minecraft? And she's like, technically, you do have to actually do the work. I'm like, okay, can I just give you my resume? I have a resume already. Like, here's a resume, here's a cover letter. Like, now can I sit in the corner and play Minecraft? Like,
so you just finished the entire course on day 1?
Oh, yeah. No, I was fucking... I got an A in that class. Like, I fucking didn't do anything. Where was I going with this?
I don't know. I can talk about my PLP experience.
Sure.
In that class, I was really lazy. I didn't want to do the work experience. I was real lazy back in high school. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to just go home and play RuneScape. So I left it till literally the last week. And I managed to actually skate through PLP not doing any like work experience. Because I got to the end, and because my school didn't bother to help anyone, if you got to the end and didn't have it, well, they can't do anything about it. So I got through that not doing it, and then I had to go do some work experience the next course. So in workplace practices, we also had work experience, and that one I ended up going to my SOS teacher, and she had an idea of what I could do because she knew someone who was working at the Gula Natural Resources Center, and I ended up just doing desk work for an entire week. I was categorizing pictures of deer. So you know how when you've probably seen them before, they'll set up like night cameras that are motion sensors, and they'll just take a picture of anything when there's a movement. So basically, I was going through.
I've seen the Save the Squirrels initiative.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I would have to go through the pictures and categorize. Okay, is there a deer in this picture? Is there a fox in this picture? Are there birds in this picture? How many are there in this picture? And I did that for 40 hours. And I was just, at the first day, they were just like, oh, we're going to go do some field work. And I was happy to do the field work, but then someone else was like, hey, I don't want to categorize these pictures myself. Can I have your work experience, guy? I was like, okay. And then I end up taking her job, because that's what she usually does. She doesn't want to do it herself, so she just waits till she has a work experience person to do it, and I went through 10,000 pictures of deer. So that was fun.
Actually, I remember what I was going to say. So, work placement for PLP, we even though I had a job, I still had to go and do placement. So I think we had to do a week worth of placement. I think it was 10 hours total we had to do. and I didn't like do anything. I assumed that my work would just let me do it there,
Yeah.
and then I found out that I wasn't allowed to use the job I already had.
That was so
I had a job I
dumb.
didn't have.
I did hear about that.
Yeah. So I went to a primary school.
Yeah.
Black Forest Primary School, and
Don't know what that is.
their IT person was away the week that I was supposed to be there. So my job was essentially just be the IT person because like, I know how a computer works.
Okay.
So essentially, I just sat in their office, and it was me and Hakeem that both couldn't use Big W as our workplace. So we both went to Black Forest, and yeah, I just
Did you actually have to
sat in
do
the
any
office
IT work? Like, did anyone come in?
we did end up doing some stuff. Someone called up because one of their computers wasn't networked correctly, and someone unplugged the Ethernet, so I plugged it back in and it worked.
They called up and then some kid with like who hasn't even hit puberty yet answers the phone. It's like, who the hell's talking to me?
It's like, I am the IT professional here. Oh look, Ethernet not plugged in. And then also we had like other jobs that they gave us because there wasn't enough IT stuff for us to properly do. So what they'd done is every year, like each student had their own, even though it was a primary school, each student had their own log-on to the student accounts, which we didn't have at my primary school. So
Yeah, no, primary schools are ridiculous now. They've got like all iPads and stuff now. It's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't have iPads when we were there. But yeah, so everyone had their own login, and they had it for a few years now, so they didn't want to delete all of their work, so they backed them all up not to USBs or hard drives, to CD drives, and then they had this fat stack, like that tall, of all the old CDs.
I'm sorry, what year was this?
This was 2015. So yeah, they had this like huge stack of CDs that were just like the entirety of the student drive just put onto a CD. So do you know the program for Windows, WinDearStat?
It rings a bell. What does it do?
So it goes through and it caches the entirety of your hard drive, and then sorts it by size,
Right.
and tells you like which folder is like which percentage of your hard drive.
Oh, okay, yep. Makes sense.
If I were to screen share, would you be able to show that?
If you can screenshot it, I can show it.
Screenshot it, okay.
Yeah, my scenes are set up weirdly
mine-
right now. Oh wait, no, you could do it
mine's
because you could. I can't show it big, but I can do something.
Okay. Why is it only letting me show screen one? I want to scroll. Oh, there we go. So WinDearStat's currently loading. It's 98% loaded. But this is the interface.
I don't know if anyone will be able to read this.
Yeah. Either way, it's just caching my Steam library right
Sure,
now.
yeah.
But once it finishes caching that, it's like my Steam library is 48% of my hard drive. My games folder is 42% of my hard drive, and then like everything else totals up to like 7% of my hard drive.
Sure.
And it'll show you like a bar that shows the percentage. And so essentially what we did was we like put in the CD, open up WinDearStat, cache the entire disk, and then went to the top folder, and it was like, oh look, here is each student has a copy of Five Nights at Freddy's on their personal thing, or everyone's got whatever like Flash movie was popular in that year, and they all had Borat on their drive, because you know they're 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they've all got Borat.
Of course, yep.
And that's what we did. We just went through and we deleted all the things that weren't their work, and then copied everything else to a USB. I think we got the entire stack of like 30 CDs into 2 USBs.
Well, yeah, it's surely saving even for an entire school, saving a bunch of documents surely can't take that much space.
Yeah, it was also like they had a bunch of. Oh, is it finished? Yeah, it's finished now. So yeah, you can see like these two are fucking huge because they're like half of the bar. This is just nothing. And then you can see like what the file types are. Like this red file type here is a PKG. And the blue one.
That's fancy.
Something else. But yeah, I think it's lagging now. Yeah, it is. But yeah, that's essentially what we were looking at for the entirety. Oh, I turned my camera off.
Oh. Okay, now you cool.
Yeah, that's what we were looking at for like the entirety of our placement. Just going through and just deleting movies and games, and then keeping all of their work and keeping all of the, um, what was there was a program that was like Pix something, WinPix or something. It was essentially like Paint, but with a
I know the
bunch
one you're
of
talking about. Yeah, people
sound
people were still
effects.
using that then. I remember using that when I was in primary school.
Yeah. So yeah, we just went through and just like saved all of those so that if essentially the point was if that student died in the future, their parents could like come in and be like, "Hey, do you have any of this person's work that we can put up in a funeral,
Right.
some
Okay.
art or whatever?" And yeah, so we just did that for a week, like 2 or 3 hours a day for a week.
Sounds more fun than what I did.
And yeah, it took ages to actually delete anything off of them because there were CDs, and then we had to like delete off the CD, like wipe the CD, put it in a clean stack,
Mhm.
and then copy all the files to a USB, and that took a while. So while we were doing that, we just watched YouTube.
Well, I think I listened to podcasts during my work experience anyway. Don't remember what podcast it was at the time. Might have been. I think I was into Joe Rogan at the time. Which I'm into Joe Rogan now, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was probably
There,
Joe Rogan.
there were podcasts that I was listening to in like year 12 that
Mhm.
I've just like stopped listening to, but I really want to get back into them.
Mhm.
One of them finished, and I was very sad. There's a fantasy one called Wolf 359.
Mhm.
It's a very good like space podcast. It's about Doug Eiffel, I believe that's his name, who's a communications officer for the space station that's orbiting a star called Wolf 359. And then there's other characters that get introduced later, but it starts off just being Doug, and it was supposed to only be Doug talking to himself, and part of the thing was that you couldn't actually tell if he was talking like he was just doing like an audio log to himself, but you couldn't tell if he was actually on a ship with other people or if he was on the ship by himself.
Right.
But then it turned out that they didn't want to go that direction with it, and they ended up having other characters. Um, but yeah, it was a very good podcast. I got very invested in it.
I've
When
never
I
really been
finished.
much for those story-based podcasts. I'm always just like the same sort of stuff that I do, where it's just like just talking shit, basically.
Yeah,
It's also much
I
easier
don't,
to produce.
yeah. I usually watch like YouTube videos. Like I watch like friendly Geordies just like talk shit about politics. Even though I have like no understanding of politics, I watch his politics videos because they're all funny. Um, and like I watched his Kevin Rudd video the other day.
I don't think I've watched Friendly Geordies in a long time. I don't even know the last time I
Yeah.
watched one of his videos.
See, I've got a Discord server that we created in 2017 and haven't messaged since the 20th of March 2018. It was meant for all the people that are doing game and entertainment design, so
Yep.
that once we all like finish our degrees, we all know how to make games. And then two of the people in the server dropped out, so it's just me who does game design. Um, and then I was like looking in that server the other day, and I saw a Friendly Geordies video that was in there. It was the Yilmaz video.
Not sure
And
what that
then I forgot that he existed, and then I watched the entire Yilmaz saga.
is. I found a podcast that I forgot existed a while back, and then I fell in love with it again. I don't know how big you were in the Call of Duty sphere back when that was big.
I never played multiplayer because I was always shit at FPS games. FPS games, fuck. I was always shit at FPSs, and I only ever played zombies.
Right. Okay.
So
So back in like the early days of COD, back when like MW2 and that were big, there was a YouTuber called Woodysgamertag, and he had a channel. We had a podcast called Painkiller Already, and I watched this podcast when I was a kid. Like back then, it would have people like C Nanas on it, Hutch, Pro Syndicate, names that just aren't around anymore. And I went back and checked that. Also, one of the hosts is FPS Russia or FPS Kyle. I'm sure you watched some FPS Russia videos in the past. No, you've never watched FPS Russia.
I've never heard his name.
How have you never heard of FPS Russia?
I'm gonna look it up because I
You
may
ha-
have like seen it in like a
You've
compilation
guaranteed seen
video,
FPS Russia video.
but, what videos am I looking for here? His like in-person videos.
If you're gonna look up FPS Russia, yeah, just look up FPS Russia. You'll find his channel. He hasn't made a video in like 6 years because he went to jail for weed, and now he can't make videos about guns. But anyway, so.
I haven't watched this guy before in my life.
Jeez, okay. We had very different childhoods then. So I went back and found this podcast again. So it's a weekly podcast with 500 episodes. So you can probably guess how long this has been going on for. And it's...
A year and a half.
Yeah, of course, a year and a half.
No,
absolutely.
weekly, not daily. Fuck. Yeah, quite a few years.
Quite a few years. And it's the same podcast. It's just as good as it was when I watched it when I was like 12 years old. It's just now Woody swears a lot more. He used to say like, what did he... He used to try his hardest just not to swear. He would just say like random other things to not. And it's like, now he doesn't care because he's not a COD channel anymore. He doesn't have kids watching him. Now it's just like, I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's fun going back and finding stuff like that.
What's it? Lewis Spears? I love his YouTube videos.
I actually was about to bring up Lewis for the thing that he posted. Was it most his recent video? Yeah, I think it might be. Not Cooking Without Instructions, the other video that he done very recently. I haven't watched Cooking Without Instructions yet.
I don't think I have. The Queen of Simp is back.
The Queen of Simp is back.
Fuck yeah.
Belle is back.
I'm still upset that I can't say cunt.
That is a really good video. I'm really happy that Lou jumped on that so quickly.
Yeah. He's got his Gamer Girl bathwater.
Oh.
I love that she showed a picture of Friendly Geordies and Pyrocynical in that video. Because they both bought Gamer Girl bathwater.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I saw the clip. I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah. Because I found that video in the recommended of a Friendly Geordies video, so I just finished looking at his face and then saw his face again. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, Queen of Sims is back, and everyone is going to all of the other gamer girls. They're going to suffer now.
$35 a month though, like, who would pay 35? Like, you can pay like $7 a month for better porn.
Well, it's not even porn. It's like
it's
lewd
probably going to be
pictures.
porn on OnlyFans.
No, she's a massive troll.
Yeah.
Like, did you not see the stuff she put on Pornhub?
Oh no! I've seen all of her videos on Pornhub. they're all hilarious.
Yeah, they are. She's a fucking marketing genius. Like, I'm not even gonna say the titles of them because even though this video isn't monetized anyway, like, I don't want it to get deranked. But just go look up Belle Delphine on Pornhub. She's a marketing genius. Don't worry, it's all safe for work stuff.
Yeah, it's all completely safe for work. Like,
well, except the
there's
fact
a
that she
video
wears
she
a
plays
bikini
with
all the
her-
time.
she plays with her cat.
Yeah. Or stroking 2 chickens. You can probably change the word in there. Or no, it was something like stroking 2 big chickens or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, the pinned comment on her video is "Rise Up Simp Nation" that she posted. She posted it and then pinned it. But yeah, no,
I need to go back and actually watch that music clip all the way through because I partially watched it in Lou's video, but
yeah, I did that after watching Lou's video as well. It isn't very good.
no, it's supposed to be shit.
But like Senzawa is the voice actress in there, and she makes fucking good meme music. But you can tell that Belle Delphine paid her 5 cents.
Oh, I thought I recognized the voice.
Yeah, as soon as it started playing in Lewis's video, I'm like, oh, dude, Senzawa, fuck yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But like 10 seconds in, it's like a cut in like she finishes one sentence, then like cuts the audio immediately, and then starts the next sentence, so you can like hear it. And then there's like a bunch of like rhymes towards the end that Lewis like pointed out, like these rhymes are shit. She's just saying random internet words, and yeah, Senzawa's made better music videos. Like Tech Over Tea fans, go watch Senzawa.
Yes, do that.
Unless you're underage, then probably don't. But yeah, I definitely did though. Put Okie Dokie Boomer on loop for like at least an hour.
Yeah, I heard the voice and I was like, is this the same person? I recognize this voice for some reason. And now that you pointed out, yeah, that makes sense.
Did you recognize the voice because you know Senzawa or because of Okie Dokie Boomer?
Because of Okie Dokie Boomer. I've never actually gone and watched other Senzawa stuff, but I do know of the name.
Also, apparently, I was like looking her up last night, and apparently she did a face reveal on iFunny, the best website ever. She's got an account on there called Senzawa, and yeah, she's done like 3 videos with her face in it.
Both marketing geniuses.
But like, I don't know if it's actually Senzawa or not, because like in each video she has different hair, and in one of them her face is covered, but the rest of the memes on that iFunny account are not Senzawa related at all. Like her character is, you know, like high pitch lolly, but the rest of the videos on there are just like, you know that meme of that African American fellow who goes, oh,
yeah.
yeah. So she edited like that laugh on top of like a different video of like some dude who like checking his emails from his professor and was like, you set a record for like failing every single question.
Well, I don't know how much you've looked into it, but audio effects have gotten really good. Like, you can make yourself sound like a convincing woman now. It's not like it sounds like an audio effect.
Yeah. I have not looked into that, no.
There's a couple of channels I watch that do, they don't use their real voices. And it's gotten really good.
Voice reveal!
Voice reveal. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. The internet's going back to normal. As Lou said, the internet is going back to normal finally. Now that Bella's back.
Now that we have the Queen of Simps back.
It was getting weird there for a while. It's gonna get weirder from this point because we've got the 2020 election is coming up. It's gonna get fucking weird coming November.
The American election.
Yes, the American election. Yeah. Even if you don't care about it, the memes are gonna be really good coming up.
Yeah, I like don't understand anything about politics at all. Yeah, when I went to vote, I accidentally voted for the wrong people. And like, I pretty much like only politics or news that I see on YouTube, and like from my parents, and like, I think my parents dislike Kevin Rudd, and then I was watching Friendly Geordie's videos, and apparently the only reason why people hate Kevin Rudd is because the news is all owned by Murdoch, and Murdoch doesn't like Kevin Rudd. So he does a lot of good things, but he doesn't do them 150%.
Right.
So they go, oh, he failed in his task, but he actually succeeded in his task. He did exactly what he wanted to do, but he didn't make Australia 150% profitable. He made them like 90% profitable. And then so now like Murdoch shits on Kevin Rudd, and everyone hates Kevin Rudd. Things like that. Like,
I know fuck all about Australian politics. I know way more about American politics. It's so much more fun. Because it's just like, it's basically a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Reality TV. It's basically just reality TV. Australian politics is like, yes, I am a serious politician. I am also a serious politician. We're going to talk about serious topics. And then then you go to American politics and you have like an orange man who yells at an old dude who has dementia. It's like, what is happening?
Oh, I was really sad when like I have like no stakes in American politics at all, and then I was really sad when what's his face, Bernie Sanders got like out of the running. I'm like, oh, I wanted funny old man.
Now you get funny orange old man.
Yeah, he's gonna be in presidency forever.
You got emperor for life.
Yeah, he's gonna like. like, he's gonna do the same thing he did to get what's her face out of the running, just like falsely leak emails and make everyone suspicious, and then
I know she did that herself.
Who hasn't have that? What's that?
She did that herself.
Ah, did she? Oh, fuck no.
But no, well,
I told you I don't know anything about American politics.
Well, basically, this time around, you have Trump, who you know what Trump's going to be like. He's going to continue being Trump. Or you have an old man who doesn't remember why he's on stage. Like, Biden is basically on, like, the edge of dementia. Like, there's multiple recordings of him just forgetting, like, the Bill of Independence. I don't know if that's what it's called. He forgets, like, basic things that a politician should know. Or he'll forget, like, why he's on stage or where he is. It's just like, this is not the kind of guy you, like, I don't care how much you like the Democrats or how much you like the Republicans. I'm sure there are other people you could be running. I'm sure you have someone else. Anyone else. That is enough politics.
I didn't know Joe Biden was old. I've heard his name many times.
Well, they're all really old. Like, Trump's in his, like, late 70s.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're all, like, above 70. I know, he doesn't look it because he has lots of money and can make...
74 years? What the fuck?
Yep. They can all make themselves look younger because they're rich, but...
Because of all the orange.
Because of the orange.
Shit, I legit thought he was, like, 50.
Yeah, no, he's way older than that.
Okay, maybe it's because Melania Trump is 50. I thought he was younger. And wait, doesn't he have a son who's like 12?
I don't know how old. I don't know how old the youngest one is.
Barron Trump is 14.
Look,
his son
is
is
a busy
60
man.
years younger than him.
He is a busy man. And look, you don't know that it's actually his kid.
Oh yeah, he could have just adopted him. His name was Barron.
Well,
like,
no,
that's a cool name.
His wife is attractive. There's no reason.
I mean, how does he have so much money? Wife. That's how.
I haven't... I don't know where the picture went, but there's this picture of, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles standing next to each other. And Prince Charles looks like he's 2,000 years old. He looks like a ghoul out of Fallout. I can't find the picture. It's, I'll see. I want to show this picture. Where is the picture? I do want to show this, and I know this is terrible content. Okay,
it's terrible content. They would have already left.
Yeah, well, they're already 2 hours in. I found it on Twitter a couple of days ago. I should have saved it because it was beautiful. Like, I'm sure you've played Fallout.
Yeah,
you know what a ghoul looks like.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
And you know what Queen Elizabeth looks like. She looks the same age. Like, she looks the same she has for the past 30 years. And then Prince Charles was just like, it looked like his skin was gonna fall off.
I've played like a bit of Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've played Vegas, and I played a fuck ton of Fallout 4. I played like well into 100 hours of Fallout 4. I love that game. And then I played Fallout 76 for about 5 hours and then deleted it because it's garbage. My main issue with Fallout 76, like the bugs aside, storage capacity. It is a game about looting, and you don't have infinite storage capacity.
That's fun. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, like Fallout 4, you grab every single, like you loot a body, you click loot all, you go back to your base and you break down the armor that you don't want, that you didn't want to sell or you didn't want to wear into components, and then you use those components to build weapon mods and to build like stalls to sell things at and to make farms stuff. You got all this stuff you can do, and you can make a base anywhere you want in 76. So you would think that you can make your entire base that you would have had in Fallout 4 in 76. You can have everything you want. You have 200 weight in your box.
Well, it's one thing to have not infinite storage, but there's a lot of items that should be, like, weightless. Like, Skyrim got it right, where you could have 10,000 potions with you if you wanted to.
Yeah, and like 200 weight in your storage box is like 4 times what you can hold on to at one time.
Mm-hmm.
That is minuscule. I will fill up my storage on me in 20 minutes of gameplay.
Jeez.
And then I'll go back and I'll store it all, or I'll trash it, like I'll recycle it all into parts. I filled up my entire like storage box in I think 3 hours of gameplay, and then I started getting like mid-game weapons, like you get like the Fat Man and the minigun and all that, and they weigh like 40 by themselves. So I had to like chuck out so much scrap just because I wanted to store these good guns. And you can't upgrade it without paying money. You need to pay this exorbitant amount of money to Fallout Plus or whatever it is, Fallout 1 or something, just to get increased storage. I don't even think that had infinite storage. I think it just had twice the capacity. It was like... that's the point of the game, is that you loot in a wasteland where there's nothing, and you like slowly accrue stuff until you can become powerful. That's...
No, you have to you have to only have this very small amount of stuff, and that is all you're allowed to have.
So yeah, I deleted that game. If they end up making infinite storage capacity, I'll come back to it. But until then,
did you buy it
it's unplayable.
For retail price?
I pre-ordered it.
Oh.
So I think I even paid more than I got the Tricentennial edition, which is like $30 more than what it originally was. I think I paid $100 or something for it. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't think I've talked about this before as well. I think the last time I played a game was about 6-7 months ago.
Yeah, I like haven't had the motivation to play games very much lately.
You were talking about playing Minecraft and RuneScape before.
That was like I've played RuneScape. I haven't played Minecraft in a long time.
Okay.
Being serious, I've been playing RuneScape a bit. I think I've played it 3 times this year, and that's all been like this week and last week. Because I just like I'm doing things. I'm teaching, and then I'm going and I'm watching YouTube in between.
You're doing things. I'm teaching. The teaching is doing things. The watching YouTube is not the doing things.
And then I stop doing things, and I go watch YouTube, and then I'm like focusing on this video, and then I look at the time, and 4 hours have passed, and I have to go to bed.
What are you watching that you need to focus that much? Because RuneScape's not even a game where you need to pay attention, especially if you're just skilling.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why I started playing RuneScape, because I was like not doing anything. Like, if I'm playing Minecraft, I have to just have like background noise. Like, I can't watch YouTube when I'm playing Minecraft.
I mean, you don't want to hear the Minecraft music loop for 10 hours?
No, I turn that off immediately. I play a lot of mod packs, and as soon as I open a new mod pack, music down to 0, FOV up to Quake Pro.
Yeah.
FOV maxed out. I can't play on anything but
Quake
maxed
Pro,
out FOV.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it was a meme a while ago that I turned my Minecraft FOV up to max as a meme, and then I played on it for a few hours, and then I like went to bed, and then I booted it up the next day and played it again, and then I realized that I was still on max, and I went down, and I started like dry reaching, like having all of this FOV, and then going back down to like this FOV. I physically like couldn't look at the screen.
I think I played 110 back when I used to play. 110, 120, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. So like, I really don't like. Have you tried playing Valorant?
No, I don't even know anything about Valorant.
So have you heard about it?
I have heard of it.
Yeah. So you know CS:GO?
Yes.
Yeah. It's essentially CS:GO Overwatch.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
So you get abilities, and each character can only use their abilities, and then it's like CS:GO in how you have round-based shooter. You get money based on how well you do in a round, and then the next round you buy your guns.
Ah, okay, yeah.
If you die in the round, you got to buy your guns back from nothing, but if you survive the round, you got to keep your guns.
Right.
And then your abilities, each character has, I think they've all got 3 abilities. It might be, oh no, yes, maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
about $3
Details aren't important.
each. And then you've got to buy your ability. So I think there's one ability that is free, and you can use it once per round. And then there's other abilities that you can buy, like 2 charges of the ability, and then you use that ability, and you got to buy the charge again.
Right.
And it's just like CSGO gameplay. So I started playing that, but the max FOV, I believe, is 90.
Whoa, you can't do that for a shooter.
That's like the minimum for a shooter, and I can't see anything in the game, and like its turning is nauseating because of the low FOV. Like, and then I started playing another game, another FPS, and the max for that was 80.
You can't. Like, okay. Rest in peace, Total Biscuit. I miss him, and he managed to make so many game developers just increase their FOV. It's like 80 isn't playable. 90 is barely playable. It should go up to like 160.
120, like at least. Like 120 is like good. More than that.
Like, if you're using any... Like, I don't know how difficult it is in Unity, but I imagine it's pretty easy to just add a slider.
Even in Unity, there's just a slider on your camera.
So, you would just basically put a slider in your GUI and just change that value.
Yeah.
There's no reason to not do it. Yep. That topic went nowhere.
Correct. Valorant.
Valorant.
Fuck you. Also, everyone's like really upset about Valorant because Vanguard is gay. Have you heard about Vanguard? So Vanguard is their anti-cheat system,
Right.
but like all bad anti-cheat systems, it has kernel-level access to your computer, and it has to run when your computer boots up. If it doesn't run when your computer boots up, you have to restart your computer and force it to boot up with the computer.
Yeah, that's similar to what happened with Doom recently. Do you remember that?
Yeah. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Like Doom Eternals.
With that one...
has a different one, but it's the exact same concept.
Yeah, I think that was Denuvo on Doom.
Yeah, Denuvo Energy, yeah. I believe they let you disable Denuvo.
They've changed it now. They've actually made it... They've said, like, this was a stupid idea. We're sorry for doing this. Which is... I've never heard a game developer say that. It's great. Because what happened... the Linux guys really hated it, because this game had a perfect... So, I don't know how much you know about Linux gaming. So, on Linux, we have a system called Lutris, which is basically a way to easily do wineskins. And also we have Proton, which is Steam's thing. And this game...
What's a wineskin? What's a wineskin?
Basically, a wineskin is basically a wrapper that'll turn the DX calls into whatever calls you can use on Linux, so OpenCL stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And it had a near perfect score, and then Denuvo came out and was like, fail. This game is it's unplayable on Linux now. Because you can't do kernel level DRM.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before as well. This comes up a bunch because... Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't actually got Doom yet. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale because Steam Summer Sale is on. I think it's on now. I think it started yesterday or something. Anyway, I'm gonna get it soon, and I believe what they did was you don't have to have it running before the game runs. It'll only run when it starts.
Okay.
But Valorant still has to be at the starter system because they can't check to see if you've modified the files unless it runs when the computer runs.
To any of the game developers listening, kernel level access is a terrible idea.
Absolutely terrible. Why do I want you to have access to my entire computer so I can play a video game?
It's like, oh yeah, that's not a security hole or anything. What's going to happen when someone, I don't know, does some code injection and your game has kernel level access? What do you think's going to happen there?
I don't trust, like, Vivaldi to not do stuff, and Vivaldi doesn't even have access to my kernel.
Right, you're using Vivaldi. Okay, I'm using Brave right now.
Yeah.
Get on that internet money.
I was using Brave until you told me to use Vivaldi in like 2018, and then
oh yeah, I did do that, didn't I? It's a great browser. I still love it. People on Linux fucking despise it because it's not open source. It's it's not open source by the technical definition. You can see the source code, but it's not technically open source by how the open source initiative describes it.
Because like people can't contribute to it.
Yeah, you can't. You can't contribute to it, but you can audit it, and you can't fork it either. So you can see the source. The source is open, but it's not a free and open source project.
Yeah, I like it. Aside from the fact that sometimes like websites just won't work in the normal view, but then they'll work in private view. Like, you know how, I don't know if you've had it on Linux, but sometimes websites will have the CSS completely stripped. So you'll see black font, white background, everything displayed along the left instead of like normal background with everything formatted correctly. So you'll just have like one element, like one hyperlink, and then a new line, then a hyperlink, a new line, then a hyperlink, a new line. And it's done that for a few websites. But when I go into private tab, it just works.
That sounds like a caching issue then.
Yeah, I don't know, but it works now. It probably was a caching issue because I did run CCleaner, and CCleaner cleared my cache. But yeah, I don't know. I've barely got any plugins, so it wouldn't have been one of my plugins breaking it.
I've got a bunch of plugins right now. So let's see. So I've got, what do I have? So I've got Honey. Obviously, Honey's great.
Obviously, everyone's got Honey. Yeah.
Stylus, because I want to be able to easily inject CSS onto my websites and have custom themes. BitTube for the BitTube website, which is another video platform. vidIQ, because vidIQ, I don't know if you know anything about that. Basically, it's a YouTube creator helper tool. Basically, when I go and do like my tags. When I do my tags, it will basically suggest tags for similar videos. So if I'm doing like a video on DWM, it'll say, okay, if I start typing in DWM, it'll say this is a DWM tag that's popular. So DWM tutorial, DWM install, DWM this and that. Basically, it suggests popular tags so you can do your tagging better. And it will also tell you how well your video is actually ranking in those tags as well. So it's just a really useful tool to have.
Okay.
I've got Virtual Shield as my VPN because I paid for it a year ago and I'm just waiting for it to run out. I don't really use it that much.
I use NordVPN. You can sign up to NordVPN with code nordvpn.com/PewDiePie. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, everyone has a NordVPN sponsorship. I don't. Give me on Nord, hit me up. I'll take it.
Yeah, they're definitely watching this video.
Yeah, I know.
2.5 hours into it.
Maybe someone who has a Nord connection can connect me. I don't know. I've got the Steam Keychain plugin because I actually don't use Steam that much. It's another crypto platform. The Hive Keychain platform, same reason. TronLink because I'm doing DLive staking. I don't use DLive, but I do crypto staking on their platform. Basically, it works the same way as getting dividends for stocks.
Okay.
And then I've got Bitwarden as my password manager because I migrated from LastPass.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I've got like 6. I've only got so I've got Honey, obviously. I've got a personal block list. So I don't know. Do you use Google or do you use like DuckDuckGo?
I mainly use DuckDuckGo, but it's kind of shit from time to time because it is a Bing search engine.
Yeah. So I just use Google because I don't fucking care about my privacy. And like under each link on Google, there'll be like a block this website thing. So if I know that like TechRadar is a garbage website that has, you know, well, I'm just saying TechRadar for example. I don't know. I don't even remember if it's good or not. I can just click block TechRadar and I'll never see a TechRadar link ever again. And it'll just delete that entirely from my search. HTTPS everywhere. It just forces a website to have HTTPS at the start of it, and if it doesn't, it'll tell me. It'll like notify me the website you're going to doesn't support HTTPS.
Okay, yep.
I've got Chrome Remote Desktop. It's just a Chrome's Remote Desktop thingy, and it works on Vivaldi because Vivaldi uses Chromium. We've got LastPass and AdBlock Plus.
Yep. Oh, also BitTube comes with uBlock as well.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. But I've already got Brave anyway, so I have Brave plus uBlock.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't have my NordVPN on my browser because I've just got the NordVPN
Ah,
desktop client. Actually, NordVPN's real nice because it like starts up with my computer. I don't have to worry about it. Connects me automatically to an Australian server.
So you just have you just got it on right now?
Yeah, I've got it on like permanently.
Oh, okay.
I've paid for a full thingy, and I've paid for a full, I think, 2 years on 3 PCs. And I paid, I think, $40 because I had some YouTuber had like a 80% off deal.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I paid barely anything for it, and I got 2 years. And so yeah, it's on permanently. I have no lag with it. It doesn't affect my internet at all. And for some reason, like, some websites will be blocked in my area if NordVPN's off, but then if I go to the Australian server on NordVPN, it'll be unblocked.
It's probably redirecting you. I don't know. I was going to say it would be redirecting you through an external server, but then you probably get some performance hit.
Yeah, then I get a ton of lag. But yeah, it's just going to an Australian NordVPN server, so I don't understand.
That's
but
weird.
Yeah, it works.
I don't know. That's very bizarre.
Yeah. And then I can also just like immediately connect to whatever country I want to be in.
Yeah, of course.
Like my friend the other day was telling me about how zoos in, I think it was Germany, were reporting that they had to, because of Corona, they've had to start feeding. They've got a list now of which animals are the most important and which animals they can feed to the other animals.
I did hear about that.
And I was like, that sounds like big bullshit. So I went and switched to Germany. Then I went on like google.de, which is Germany's Google.
Yeah.
And then went on Google Translate and just put in the google.de link. So I was browsing from Germany on German Google translated English.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found like actual German zoos websites where they were saying, please support us. We don't want to do this.
I did hear about that. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's fucked.
So yeah, anyone who's got some spare cash lying around, German zoos need your help.
Yeah, look, you don't need to simp to Belle Delphine. Go help the German zoos.
Yeah.
She's actually, you know what? Honestly, she should help them.
She has enough money.
She has enough money herself.
1,200 something Patreons are still paying her money, even though she hasn't uploaded a Patreon in, how long did Lewis say? Like 6 months, 5 months?
I think at the peak of her career, she was at like 80 grand a month. And that's just Patreon. That's not anything else.
Yeah.
So I hope, like, she's a very smart girl. I hope that she's been investing that. Because I'm sure she's not an idiot and knows this isn't going to last that long. Eventually, she's not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And she will have this.
One day she's going to be forced to make an actual porn video, and then none of her other content will get views ever again.
Actually, if she does that is marketing genius as well. When she eventually is like on the edge of going out of relevancy, drops an actual porn video.
Yeah, her and Mandingo. I love dropping the name Mandingo and then everyone just like, oh shit, he knows. Well, one of my workmates the other day said something like, that doesn't work, Mandingo. And I'm like, oh, Mandingo.
Mandingo.
You know that name. It's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
Moving on.
Yes.
You double chin. Yeah, you can't see my double chin.
Oh yeah, because of the beard. You shave it off then.
Nah, mate.
Then I'll be able to see it.
I have had a few who asked me to do that lately. I was like, nah. No, not happening. It died out for a while.
But back when you were doing your shed videos, I was commenting on your video saying shave that fucking beard.
Yeah, you were doing good as a meme though. I don't know, maybe you weren't.
A little bit of both. I mean, back then it was like a real disgusting.
Oh yeah, it was. It was a mess back
then.
Real
wiry and like not like defined at all.
Yeah. Now the low quality of the webcam makes it seem like it's even better than it is. I do need to trim it up. Like the ends are a bit long, but when on my view of my webcam, it looks like a perfect beard. So what you do is just make it smaller, and then you're good.
Yeah.
But I was saying earlier I need to get a haircut, and I was doing the same thing you did, where it was just like get it really short. I had a picture of this dude with like a short haircut, and I'd just be like, do this.
Do this, yeah.
Now I'm gonna keep it a bit longer because actually, I don't know. I think it looks good as it is. The problem is I look like I'm just lazy and haven't got a haircut, so I'm probably gonna be like, just make this a little bit shorter and make it look like it was intentional rather than me being lazy.
Yeah. See, so what I used to get was a 3 back and sides and then a short messy on top, and that was like what I got for years and years. I probably ever since I was like 9 or so, I got that same haircut. And yeah, I just said like, do something for me, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you the wog cut.
The wog cut.
The wog cut.
When I was a kid, the haircut I got all the time. He didn't
call it the wog cut, but he was wog, and this was the same haircut that he had.
It's just like, do this. When I was a kid, all I got was I got 2 all over. Because my mum didn't care. She was like, this is easy. It's cheaper than taking you to a hairdresser. She's like, gotta get the clippers out.
And it's faster than just giving you the bowl cut myself.
Get yourself a bowl mullet.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted some kind of a mullet because I had hair down the back.
You
of my
didn't.
neck. I did.
You didn't.
Yeah.
No, you thought you did, but you didn't.
What do you mean?
You'd regret it as soon as you had it.
I could just cut it off. Like it was not that much hair.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, it was like real. Like everyone at work was just saying like, Nick, you need a haircut. It's like, yeah, I know I need a haircut. Thanks, Mom. One of the women I work with, Kristen. I don't know when I started calling her Mum, but she's work mum. I love her, and whenever I have to talk to other people about her, I forget what her name is because I call her Mum all of the time. Like when I'm at home, I'll call her work mum, and when I'm at work, I'll just call her Mum.
Right.
I was in our like back room. We've got the like double doors that lead from shop floor to the back. Then in the right in there is the business office, which is just where all the computers and all the guns and the phones charge, and where all like printers are when we like print off tickets.
Yeah.
And then in there's another room, which is the sales office.
It's laid out the exact same way my store is. Yeah.
So sales is like, it's called sales, but it's really just the store manager's room.
Yeah.
And no one goes in there except for the store manager, pretty much, and like the upper management.
Yeah.
But Mum came out of the cash office and was like, oh, someone fucking stole my stapler. So I'm like, oh, we'll go look for your stapler then. We went into business office, went around there, couldn't find it. I'm like, oh, Catherine probably stole it. So I went into the sales office and was looking around her desk. I found it. And then I walked out of sales office while Mum was still in there. And the assistant store manager was in business office. I was like, Nick, who are you in there with? I'm like, Mum. Like, I can't remember her name. It's like this is like 3 seconds of me saying just like trying to remember what her name was. I'm like, Mum. It's like, you know who Mum is. Don't worry. You know her, I'm sure.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no one really questions when I walk in places because I used to be a manager a while back.
Oh yeah.
So obviously I probably shouldn't be in some places, but no one really questions it. It's just like, oh, whatever. Probably was asked by Tom or someone to do something.
So you still at Coles?
I am at Coles, yes.
Yeah. And so you're not managing now? You're just filling?
Yeah, I'm just a night filler now.
Night fill? Yeah. Yeah, because I do night fill and service.
Oh, fuck. They said over Christmas, like, we're going to train you on service. I didn't remind them because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, when I started, I was doing recovery, and then recovery stopped being a thing, and then I was put onto fill. Then they took me for like a shift of service, and then I barely did a night fill ever again because I was really good at service.
Yeah.
And yeah, whenever I go in there, everyone's always talking about like how good I am at service, and I'm like, but I just do my job. What do you mean?
I was never cute enough to work on service.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be so fake to actually like
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd start like talking shit with the customers.
Yeah, like if I could, I would talk like I am talking to you
Yeah,
right now. I'd be talking to
that's why
customers
I
like
can't
that.
do it.
But can't swear, can't be me. So this is how I talk at Big W. Good afternoon, Nicholas speaking. How can I help you?
Oh.
I'll be like walking around on the shop floor, like talking to my workmates, like, hey, fucking Sam, how you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Nicholas speaking. How can I help you? Sure, I'll look for it for you. Give me a second. And I put them on hold, and they're like, oh, this fucking bitch wants another fucking couch.
Yeah, for me,
No, I'm sorry. We actually sold out of that at the
Yeah, yeah.
moment, but I can have a look at other stores for you if you'd like.
I can maintain that for about 10 seconds. Then I'm like, this is too
I'm
much.
pretty good at it now. One of the girls that I work with there, Yujing.
Mhm.
Whenever I see her, I'm like, "Hi, Yujing," and she's like, "Nick, you're always so fucking chipper." And I'm like, "Yeah, I have to be, or else I'm gonna get fired. This isn't the real me."
Yeah, I tend to be nice. Like, I don't be chipper. I'll be nice to the customers. Like, I'll talk to them as if they're like, I don't know, a colleague at work or something like that. Not like at like an office, not my work, because I talk shit to my people at work. But the instant that someone's like my age, or they walk up to me and like, "Hey, bro," that instantly it turns off. It's like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
If you start the
if
conversation
I,
with "Hey, bro," I'm not going to be nice to you. I'm just going to talk like I normally do.
Yeah, I do that with some customers, like younger guys. Like, hey man, you know where this is? I'm like, yeah, bro, it's just around there.
Or you'll have
But
some older guys
pretty
as
much
well.
everyone except for dude bros, I'll put on my. Oh yeah, it's just around this way, I believe. If you've got any left in stock, they'll just be around this corner.
Yeah. But there's a couple of like older guys as well who do the same thing. It's like, or I don't know. He'll just say like, oh, he's someone who's like worked in a factory his entire life and has never bothered to be professional his entire life, and it's just like he'll just like, I don't know. If you start the conversation with swearing as well, that's when I also turn it off. It's like, whatever, you clearly don't care. But I've got this. There's this dude who comes through occasionally. He's my favorite customer. He's this really old dude who has a walking stick, and he's had like a skin graft on his face. And he's the nicest person on the planet. And whenever he asks like, "Where's this product?" or "Do you have anything out back?" if you have it, it will make his day. He is the happiest person you've ever seen. It's like you walk home and you just bought a puppy, and the puppy's just seeing you come home for the first time. That's what it's like.
Yeah, well, I like outside of work, I fucking hate old people. They are smelly, they are slow, they are loud. I fucking hate them, okay? But at work, some of the old people, they're so lovely. Oh. People, I'll like get something out, and I'll spend like a minute helping them like find something, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're the best." Like,
It is nice when you occasionally have those customers who are actually appreciative.
yeah, like after dealing with toy sale customers, like, "Why are you sold out?" It's like, because we have got a toy sale and everyone else got here before you. It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna complain to your manager." It's like, okay, Karen, thanks.
Yeah, we haven't had. At least I haven't dealt with those people. I typically, if someone gets a bit irate, I usually find my boss or someone who I want to pretend is my boss and let them deal with it.
Yeah. I remember once we had this manager who he comes back every now and then, like to relieve when our other managers go off other places. Called Chris. When Chris started, I hated him. He was like snooty and boring, but I love him now. He's fucking great. Once I had a customer complain that we were out of stock or something, and I said we had none on order or anything none on hand. And then I went out the back because he wanted to speak to my manager, and I'm like, "Wait, Chris, can you come tell this customer we're out of stock? Like, here's my gun. Look at this. We got none in stock, none on order. Can you just tell the customer that exact same thing?" And then he went out there and did the whole, "I'm very sorry about the wait there. How can I help you? What do you need to know? Oh yes, nope, sorry. We've got it on here. We've got none on hand. I can show you other stores if you like." The whole spiel that we do to customers that are being pains. And then she like calmed down like immediately and walked off. She got like out of earshot, and he's like, "That fucking bitch."
some of the stuff that we talk about in my store, if HR walked through, we would all be fired.
Yeah.
Like, we've got this old lady, okay, she's a lesbian, right? And she is the most open person about sex and sexual encounters. And she...
Sorry, my dad's just coming in, even though I told him not to come in.
Oh. It's like, no, I'm jacking off. But anyway,
Doing important things.
yeah, so she's like the most open about it, and you just mention like various food items, and she'll have a story. It's like whipped cream, banana, apples, and just like, can you like not for a minute? Like, even for us, it's a bit much sometimes. Retail's fun. I enjoy it.
There are so many stories I could tell you about customers, but there's one story I really wanted to tell you about a customer I didn't even see.
Mm-hmm.
So, back in 2015, I was 16 years old.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
2015, I was 16.
Right.
It was towards the end of the year. I only started in 2015, so I wasn't, very accustomed to Big W and service.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in, and my boss at the time, Stuart, fucking hated his guts. Biggest asshole. Stuart came up to me before I'd even signed in and was like, "Mate, I've got the perfect job for you." I'm like, "No, Stuart, I'm not doing it. You can do it yourself." He's like, No, you haven't even seen it yet." I'm like, "I don't want to see it. If you're saying it's the perfect job for me, I'm not doing it." And there's like, sometimes when I talk about stuff at work, like, I didn't actually say this to his face. I said this to his face. If you've told me it's the perfect job for me, I'm not doing it. Like, oh, look, mate, look. We don't know what it is. Someone could have just dropped their Mars bar. I'm like, no, I'm not cleaning up shit, Stuart. I'm 16. I'm not cleaning up shit. Look, mate, everyone's cleaned up one in their lifetime. I'm like, I am going to vomit if I look at it. I cannot clean it up. But no, look, mate. He just like kept saying like, "Oh, everyone's done it. You gotta do it once." Fucking hell. Went on for like 20 minutes, like this grown-ass man not wanting to clean up shit. I walk down there. I get like 20 meters from it. I can smell it. That is not a Mars bar. That is a shit. I spent 45 minutes cleaning this shit up off the ground.
Fuck.
He found this shit on the ground and got the exercise machine that was next to it, like the rowing machine, picked it up and put it over it so that no one stepped on it, and then left it for me when I started my shift. So I had to go and get the cleaning trolley and bring it all the way out. I like got paper towel, wrapped it around and around and around and around, a pair of tongs, then had a bag that I opened up, picked up the shit with the paper towel tongs, put all of it in the bag, and then put the tongs in a bucket of sand, put then sand onto the ground to then try to like get rid of the shit, sweeped it up, and put whatever it was called, like Detox or something, some cleaning liquid on the ground. Then I had to use more paper towels on the tongs to like I wrapped the tongs in paper towel and then made a ball of paper towel that I then grabbed with the tongs to get all the rest of the cleaning detergent off. Then put it in the bag. It took 45 minutes. That was, and then like after I'd finished, like you could still see like I was not going to get all the shit off that ground.
Don't you have service staff?
They come in every morning.
Right.
And this was like after they'd already left.
Okay, because my service staff are also the trolley people.
Our trolley guys and our cleaning people are separate teams.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
I guess Coles is a bit of a smaller store. Because we have in Nightfield we have like 20 employees.
Yeah. And as well as Stuart being there, who fucking hates Stuart. He was my line manager,
Yeah.
and then the store manager at the time, Antonio, 10 times worse than Stuart, was also working that day. Luckily, he does not fucking work for us anymore. And then he calls me up like 20 minutes after I finished. He's like, "Oh, Nick, I don't know if you remember. Yeah, I don't know if it's something that you would remember. But about half an hour ago, you cleaned up a shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. Don't tell me there's another one." He's like, "Oh, what'd you do with the shit after you cleaned it up?" I'm like, "I put it in the bin that's on the cleaner's trolley." "Oh, you put it in the bin. Why didn't you put it in the bin outside?" I'm like, "'Cause no one told me to do that. You told me to clean up the shit and put it in the fucking trolley." "Oh, why didn't you know to fucking put it in the dumpster? What's the cleaner gonna think when he goes into his bin and there's shit in there? It's in a fucking bag. He's a cleaner."
That's literally his
Am I not
job.
supposed to put
Like,
the bin in?
these people clean the toilets.
Like, am I not like? How am I supposed to know that the bin that has the big like hazardous waste icon on it is not for hazardous waste? It's like everything that I did, I put in a bag. There is no chance of him touching shit if he grabs the bag. And then I like, no one fucking told me that you were supposed to do that. And he's like going off at me. It's like, mate, fuck off. If you want me to do a job, don't make me clean up shit. And also, tell me how to do the job.
Fuck. That's a fun shift. I've had nothing that bad for sure, but
I made a post about that on Facebook, and one of my mates, who, like, we weren't really friends, we were friends of friends, Christian, commented on my post, like, "Facebook isn't your personal blog." It's like, do you know what Facebook is?
so that's literally
It's a
Facebook.
social media platform.
It is literally a blogging platform.
So then we bullied him about it in private.
What are people? Wait, what do you think Facebook was?
A meme platform? I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, it's not LinkedIn. LinkedIn's like a business platform. That'd be different. If you want to post it on LinkedIn, it's like, "My boss just made me clean up shit today." That would be a bit different. But no. I would have found a new job. They clearly don't like you there.
Yeah, I'm just too lazy to
fair.
to find a job. Like, that's why I'm still sitting here playing RuneScape and watching YouTube instead of at a development team
Yeah, that's fair.
doing gaming.
Well, to be fair, the start of this year, it wasn't really a good time to look for a new job. Because you would have been the first person let go.
Yeah.
That was fun. I think that'll make a good clip, actually. That's one of the few times where I'm like, that's actually like a solid clip.
Oh, epic. Wonderful. Tell my shit cleaning story.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure how long it went for. I don't know.
That was probably about 10 minutes.
I don't know. I didn't start the... I used to like take timestamps, and then I got lazy, and now I'm not taking timestamps, so now it just takes a bit longer, but I think I'm getting better clips now, because I actually have to go back and actually look at what's happening, rather than be like, this is when it happened. Because maybe there's something else that I forgot about that's actually really good.
Yeah.
There actually was one thing I did want to talk about today. I've noticed that you've actually changed a lot over the past couple of years. Like, back in like first year, you were just a massive weeb. Now you actually seem like a functional adult.
I have become a bit more of a functional adult because of university. I used to, so year 12, year 11, I did like no homework ever. So when I got home, I would get straight onto the computer and I would like game all night or watch anime all night. I would have anime on my second screen, gaming on my main screen. That's all I did because like year 11, year 12, I did no like homework.
I know the feeling.
Everything
Yep.
I did was at school because it was easy. I don't know about you, but year 11, 12 was.
Oh no, I was the exact same. I played RuneScape the entire time. I was watching anime at the time, so I was watching anime as well, and just did no homework. I didn't need to.
Yeah, so everything was at school. I couldn't do my music work at home anyway, because my music work was all music tech.
Right.
So I needed like the programs that were only on the school computers. But yeah, so I just like I had so much free time on my hands, and then I got into anime when I was in year 10.
Yep.
So I was like I was like 2 years into my anime career.
Anime career.
And whatever it's my anime journey.
Sounds even cringier. Anyway, go
I
on.
don't fucking know, dude. Anyway, so I got to high school. I got to uni, and I thought I could do the same thing. And then it turned out that I couldn't do the same thing because I needed to actually do research and homework and all that. Then it got up to like I was barely watching any anime or playing any games towards the end of year 12. Not year 12. The end of year 3 of uni, because I only did a 3-year course. And I was doing like 8-hour days programming Monday to Friday, and I would get home and I would just be too tired to do anything. I'd just like turn my second monitor off. I'm too tired to pay attention to 2 things at once, and I would just play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Or I would just sit there and watch anime. Not even that much I watched anime though. And then I got into that project that I was doing 8 hours a day programming became an internship that I was then doing 5 hours a day, 10 to 4.
Right.
And
that's not 5 hours a day.
What's that?
That's not 5 hours a day.
That I didn't say 5 hours a day. I said 5 days a week.
Oh, you said 5 hours a day.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, I meant 5 days a week.
Okay.
10
Yes.
to 4.
Anyway.
So I was doing that, and I would just I'd be literally sitting at my computer in Unity, in Visual Studio, programming the entire time. And I would go have like a half an hour break to go get lunch, and that's all I would do all day. So I was just mentally drained. And I just stopped watching anime. It was so abrupt. I think I sent you a message on Discord. Like, I just realized I haven't watched any anime this season.
I don't think you have. Maybe you have. I don't know.
I think I sent that to you. Oh, no, I didn't. Either way, it got up to like March, and I'm like, what's even airing this season? Like, I remember, like, the new season would start in anime, and I would be like, okay, I'm watching these 7 things this season. I think I watched 2 animes.
I've got a bunch of stuff downloaded. I just haven't watched it yet. Like, I'm starting to go back and watch some stuff now. I just didn't have time this year.
Let me just log into my Plex. See what I'm actually.
Because for me, as you know, I was watching anime. I was watching like 30 things a season for my first couple of years at uni. I somehow managed to balance that. That was insane. So I was getting HDs and everything, spending like fuck knows how long on uni stuff, and then still watching 30 things a week, which was stupid. Then we got to last year, and I was still watching some anime. I watched a bit less, but the YouTube stuff started picking up, and then I started doing it daily. And now that I'm here, I'm doing my final year of uni, and I'm doing daily videos, and it's just like I don't really have that much time for the anime stuff. I still watch some, and I still want to go back to it now that I'm back on break, and I'll probably be watching more over the break, but when I think about what I could be doing there, I'm like, I could stream during this time, couldn't I? That would be fun, because that would be like an extra thing I could do alongside my channel. That would obviously be an extra income source and be just an extra fun thing I could do. So it's like I have this time where I could be doing the anime stuff, or I could be working on my business, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about it now.
So yeah, I've got my 2019 anime up here. So I watched all the way through Astro Lost in Space, Dr. Stone, Isekai Cheat Magician, and Ascendance of a Bookworm. 5 animes last year. The entire year I watched 5. And then I have Do You Love Your Mum and 2-Hit Multi-Target Attacks.
Yep.
I watched halfway through that, and that was garbage.
Oh, it's fun though.
If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat Demon Lord. I watched 4 episodes or so of that, and then someone told me that it turns out that she grows up.
Stop. This is a spoiler for a really good series.
It's a fucking garbage
No,
series.
it's amazing. I do anything for my Demon Lord spoiler, starting now.
She grows up, and then they get married, and that's fucking disgusting, because she is his daughter, and... no, yucky, ooh. So I dropped that. I dropped that before she even grew up, because I wanted her to be pure little girl, and not grown up married teenager. Ooh, yucky.
Okay, spoilers over now.
Good, you can come back. Cautious Hero, I watched a few episodes of that, and I haven't dropped it, I just haven't gotten back to it. Same thing with Demon Lord Retry.
Oh, wait, Cautious Hero is really good, yeah. I forgot what that was for a second. Fuck, what's the Japanese name? I don't know. Anyway, go on.
I don't know. Plex translates all the names to English.
Ah, makes sense.
So, I know the Japanese names of most of them, but, like, it's got the English names here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Demon Lord Retry, I watched like 3 episodes, and I'm like, this is just ReZero crossed with like Overlord or something. I don't know. ReZero and something else. And I dropped it. Copcraft, I watched 1 episode and dropped that. And then to the Abandoned Sacred Beasts, I watched 1 episode. And
Sacred Beasts.
It's still there. Like, I can watch it. It's all right. And then I've got like 6 others that I haven't even started yet.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I've still got on my list where I'm like, I might just drop this.
Yeah. I've watched a bit more of like this season stuff, or not this season, this year's stuff. Infinite Dendrogram, really enjoyed that.
Okay, yep.
Darwin's Game.
I haven't finished that yet. I still got 3 episodes left.
Fucking amazing. I read the manga, so I'm like way ahead. Like that's like. Darwin's Game's probably like a 5th of the way or a 6th of the way through the manga.
Yeah.
And it's very fucking good. I love Darwin's Game. So I was very excited when I saw that airing. The 8th Son, are you kidding me? That's airing this season. I read the manga for that as well. I'm very excited about this anime. Same thing with Tower of God.
Yep. Oh yeah, I need to. I'm still on last season right now.
What?
Last season of anime.
I'm like the last season of Tower of God. No. Another season?
Yeah, no, that would be good.
Yeah. Tower of God is very good. I read the manga, but I gave up on it about 2 years ago because I moved from my manga reading app Manga Zone to like Manga Storm, and then Manga Storm didn't have Tower of God, so I forgot it existed for a while.
Yeah.
But now I'm on Tachiyomi, which is the best manga reading app I've ever found, and it's fucking amazing. So if you're not using Tachiyomi and you need a new manga reading app, Tachiyomi. And then there's like 4 others that from this season that I've got downloaded because my brother watches anime now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the list for this season. There's a couple of things in here that I do want to check out. Obviously, Tower of God.
Yeah.
I also want to watch the 2nd season of Kaguya-sama because that is really good. I like my rom-coms. I guess I should. I've heard bad things about it. I guess I should finish off Shokugeki no Soma, though. Food Wars.
Yeah.
I hear the last season is garbage, though.
Yeah. I've got Fire Force downloaded. I should probably watch it.
You should watch Fire Force. Fire Force is actually, like, drop everything else you're watching and watch Fire Force.
Yeah. I watched episode 1 and it was, like, fucking gas, but... Yeah. Apparently... Wait, July... Are we in July or are we in June?
We are in June.
Oh, damn it. Sword Art Online.
Yes, next season of SAO is coming out. Did you... The ending of last season, because they did a split core, was the worst ending I've ever seen to an anime season ever.
I don't remember what the ending was.
Sinon showed up, and then it ended. Like, literally it ended.
Correct,
she just like, hey, Asuna, and then end the episode, end of the season.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I love that ReZero hasn't even started airing yet, and they've already got ReZero Season 2 Part 2 set for next year.
I am excited for more of ReZero. I hear that it gets really good from now on.
Yeah, I'm just very excited for ReZero to like fucking like I love ReZero, but I'm just not excited that Season 2 is a 2 core and the second core of it is like a year away, like a full year away. I think it was like July next year.
Also, finish Fire Force so you can watch the 2nd season. That's coming out next season as well. 2 weeks.
Next season, okay.
Or season coming up. What else? The God of High School I hear is actually pretty good.
Yeah. There's a manga that keeps coming up in my recommended, but I don't want to read it.
Wait, is this
it has like 500 chapters or something?
I just found something I haven't seen in a long time. It's a trashy harem series. I thought those died out for a while. Mao Gakuin ni... no, I'm just going to send you the name. It's fucking too long. I'm going to be here all day if I try to say the name.
I'm trying to look through Summer 2020. It's not there. Is it from the summer list?
Here you go.
The Misfit of Demon King Academy, History's Strongest Demon King, re ... Thanks, Discord.
What else do we have? I probably shouldn't be scrolling through
This
this
is
just in case
obviously a
anything not
light
safe for
novel.
work.
This is obviously a light novel title.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mao Gakuin no Futeki Goshu Shijo Saikyo no Mao no Shisho Tensei shite Shishon Tachi no Gakko e Kayou.
Perfect. I don't know if that was even remotely good or not.
Oh, it was probably very bad. I'm fairly sure I fucked up a lot. But I am an intellectual.
You're an
I took
intellectual.
Japanese at university.
Yeah, you did. So did Aiden.
Oh, bruh, it's... Okay, yeah. I lied. Doing Japanese at uni does not make you an intellectual. This is from Sukaweru Enixuda.
I don't know what you just said.
Sukaweru Enixuda. That's Square Enix.
Oh.
If you watch any Square Enix anime, that is one of the title cards. It says Sukaweru Enixuda.
Oh lord. There's not actually much next season that even looks too interesting.
So you're looking at this on AniList.
I am looking at AniList.
My anime.
Kanojo okaerimasu. Alright then. This is about rental girlfriends. Alright then.
Rental girlfriend.
Rent a girlfriend.
So it's just like Species Reviewer.
I haven't watched that yet.
Neither have I.
I hear it's good though.
I just love that who was it that dubbed it?
Funimation?
Funimation. They dubbed 3 episodes and then realized that it was a porn.
Do you know who ended up...
when?
Do you know who picked up
When
In Species Reviewer after they dropped it?
Who?
It was one of the big Australian ones.
Anime Lab?
Yes, it was Anime Lab.
Yeah.
Everyone on
Anime
Reddit...
Lab is the only Australian anime place that I know.
So on Reddit, everyone was like, how do I VPN to Australia? Which is nothing that anyone's ever said before.
Why would you want to come to Australia? It's like, we have nothing over here. We have Stan.
We have interspecies reviewers and we have neighbors. That's all we have. You probably don't want to watch one of those. I'll leave that up to you to decide.
I don't really think I want to watch either of them, but... I watched enough Neighbours when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, I really don't want to ever watch that series again.
When we were kids, we made our own like a parody of the Neighbours intro.
Oh lord.
Neighbours, pick your bomb and taste the flavors.
No one outside of like Australia and the UK is gonna have any idea what Neighbours is. Oh lord.
Neighbours is garbage.
Neighbours is garbage.
Please.
Home and Away is slightly better, but it's still garbage.
I'm trying to figure out how to look at next season. Oh, season any. Probably change that to...
What are you looking at? On AniChart?
I'm trying to look at AniList.
Oh, I don't know how to use AniList. Fucked if I know. Use AniChart.
You were on AniList. You sent me the link to it.
Oh, no.
How were you looking at next season's anime?
Oh, AniChart and AniList are linked together.
Okay.
That's the link to next season.
Yeah.
What's coming up in fall?
Yeah. I see quite often, like, manga that I read being adapted, so let's see if there's any...
I'm sorry. Did you watch Mahoka?
Mahoka? No.
Oh, okay. It's a really shit light novel series from a couple years ago, and it's getting a season 2. For some reason.
What's Mahoka?
It is.
Is that some fucking Mahou shoujo?
No, it's a harem series about people in a magic school. But 3rd season of Danmachi's coming out, which I'm excited for.
Ooh. Did I end up watching the side series? I can't remember.
Oh,
yeah. Wait. Yeah. Magic High School.
Yes.
So I started reading it, then I downloaded the anime, and my brother watched it, and I haven't yet. Apparently, brother-sister incest stuff.
Very
so
much.
I don't know if I do want to watch it. So I'm not into incest. I don't know if I want to actually watch the show.
I think that's a pretty standard position to hold. But I've read most of Damachi, and this season, if they adapt it properly, is going to be really good. Last season wasn't that good, but now that we're getting into the Xenos arc, it's going to be really good.
Ooh.
What else do we...
I forgot that Bakugan was airing again. Because I started watching Bakugan in English because...
Is it?
You know. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so they did Bakugan Battle Planet. Have you watched any Bakugan?
No, I don't care about that for a second. Gotchimon Wasaki Desuka is getting a 3rd season. Why is it getting a 3rd season?
I don't know what that is.
It doesn't matter, you don't know what it is. Here you go. Anyway, you're saying about Bakugan.
Yeah, Bakugan. You ever watched Bakugan?
I've watched it a ton as a kid.
Yeah. So Battle Brawlers was like best season ever.
Yeah.
And then they did New Destroyer, and then they stopped it.
I only watched Battle Brawlers.
You didn't watch New Destroyer?
I think I watched an episode. I saw it on TV, but I was already too old when that stuff started coming out.
Yeah, I was too old. But I watched it anyway.
I'd go back and watch it now, but
I could, but it's probably garbage.
oh, absolutely.
Like,
I'd watch the Japanese version, surely.
Yeah. I started watching Battle Planet, which is their new season of it. And it's too like formulaic now. Like back in the day, it was Dan Kuso and his friends like fighting against the Masquerade, who turned out to be Alice, and it was like this like full like serialized thing, like episodic. It wasn't episodic. It was like you
it was a
need to
series.
watch each episode in order. But this one is just like, this episode Dan learns how to be friends with his Bakugan. In this episode, he learns to not post nude pictures of his friends online because that has bad things for the future. Like every episode is like a 10-minute like teaching children how to not be dickbags.
Right.
Yes, I watched a few episodes of that, and then the place that I was watching it stopped putting the new English episodes on there. So I just stopped watching.
Why'd you watch the English version?
Because I fucking watched it when I was a kid and it was on TV. And
that's fair.
I don't want to like change to Japanese voice actors when I'm watching a
Oh
cartoon.
wait, is it the same characters?
It is. It's the same characters, but not the same voice actors.
Right.
But it's completely different art style, and like they hit reset on the universe.
Right. Okay.
So it starts off with actually no, I think it's just the main character is the same. So it's still Dan Kuso, but his friends are different, and he's now like 8 years old again.
Right.
And the Bakugan, instead of how it worked before, where Bakugan and cards rained from the sky, it was like meteorites landed, and Dan is a YouTube sensation. So he was like filming this meteorite land, and he went up and found it, and there's a Bakugan in there. And
YouTube sensation.
He and his friends have like this website that they run, even though they're like 8-year-olds, they have like a website where they're like very, very famous, and then they became Baku Brawlers, so they're like even more famous now.
Right.
But all of the bad guys always know where they are because they have a website where they live stream constantly.
How do they keep finding us?
I don't know. Maybe we should turn off this little robot that's following
Maybe
us.
that should be the ultimate lesson of the series. Don't have a camera on yourself all the time.
Yeah,
It's just
live stream.
the entire thing is just a story about a surveillance state.
Yeah.
Oh lord.
But yeah, it was alright. Aside from the fact that, it was just like preachy little don't make your friends unhappy or else they'll stop being your friends. It was still fine. But supposedly, because of the fact that they made the original anime based on like they made it based around being able to make toys of this stuff.
Sure.
The actual game that you could play was garbage, and like the rules are just stupid.
Sure.
So they like completely redesigned Bakugan, and now it's an actual game that you can play competitively, and it's not just for kids, because they realized like even though they're making it for kids, they now know that it's not going to be kids that are playing the game.
Yeah, you got to
Kids
look
are
at
going
what's
to
happened with
collect the
Pokemon.
Yeah, like kids are going to collect the figures and put them on their shelf, and maybe they'll ditch them at their friends' heads, but they're not gonna build a deck out of the cards, roll the back of onto the things, and play at tournaments. Like, that's going to be adults.
Yeah.
So they've made like an actual comprehensive rule set.
Yeah, the people who have money to spend like $1,000 on a deck, those are the people who you want to entice to play it.
Yeah. People like me who have money to spend $140 on
a
4
card.
copies of Mox Opal, and Mox Opal gets banned, and then I lose $900. Or whatever it was, 140 times 4 times whatever the fucking US conversion rate is.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering, a very expensive hobby.
I
always take the piss out of Kung for spending all the money on Warhammer figures, and
then you realize you're just as bad.
I'm just as bad.
He at least has like a thing he can do with them. He can like, I'm gonna paint these things, and then I'm gonna play with them.
Yeah, and I just play with them, and then I go 0-4 at tournaments, and I'm like, oh.
I'm actually not as good as I thought I was.
More money?
I spend more money. I need better meta.
I need better cards.
I have not got perfect meta yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like the reason that I lose is because of the type of decks that I play. I play decks that are very easy to interact with.
Right.
And by interact with, I mean my opponent just plays one card and then I'm dead. It's like my entire game plan revolves around activating abilities of artifacts, and then they play one creature that says activated abilities can't be activated. I'm like, excuse me, what? None they are.
Well,
what? I have ways to kill creatures, but the ways that I kill creatures are activated abilities on artifacts, so I can't kill the creature. Good game, opponent.
Well, the way that your deck is being beat is just Yu-Gi-Oh meta. It's just like, oh, one turn wins is just Yu-Gi-Oh meta at this point. Because that game is so broken.
Yeah, it's essentially whoever goes first just wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like Yu-Gi-Oh explained to me by a few people that play Yu-Gi-Oh. I was like, that doesn't sound fun.
Like,
you may as well just roll a die and then say, hey, yeah, I won.
Because of some like politics stuff that's happened with Magic recently, I do know like a tiny bit about Magic, and I know that like with a lot of other card games, it's had a problem of power scaling over the years.
Oh yeah. Every set just brings out broken shit.
Where like you can look at like some of the old cards and you're like, why would anyone ever play that? And at that time, it was actually a good card. But Yu-Gi-Oh has that problem, but it does it by like timesing everything by 1,000. So it's like, oh yes, you can do 40,000 life points on the first turn. It's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's like, set your opponent's life total to 100. Do 1,000 damage. Those are 2 cards that exist.
Like, early on in, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, people joked about, like, oh, you can't play that many cards in one turn. And now you can. You can just play your entire deck in a turn, basically.
Yeah, it's like, you can only normal summon one monster a turn.
But yeah, now there's 20 different ways to summon stuff.
You don't need to normal summon. You normal summon one guy, then you tribute that, then you tribute that, then you synchro, then you create the overlay network and exceed summon, and then your opponent's dead.
Broken game.
It's like, you can't attack on the first turn, guys. You don't need to attack to do damage, though. You can just, like, sacrifice this creature, and it sacrifice this monster, and it deals damage equal to its power, to its opponent.
I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be like someone big into Yu-Gi-Oh at this point. Like, how would those tournaments actually go down?
It's like, it's probably be easier to do them online, because you just you roll the die, and then you walk away from your computer if you lost a die roll.
Basically is, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what people have done against me in Magic Arena. Because Arena is the online Magic, and it's only like newish cards. So I took it upon myself to play the Jank Artifact combo that I always play, but just different because there are different cards in Arena. And so my opponent literally walked away from his computer, and I could tell because when you click pass into end of turn, you don't get prompted to respond to an action. Like certain actions, so I would like cast a spell, and normally you would have to click like that spell resolves, but if you click pass, it just auto resolves. So I was doing my combo for like half an hour, taking infinite turns. Each turn I was doing things to draw cards, and I finally drew my combo piece, which is Darksteel Reactor. And it has a trigger so that at the start of your turn, you put a counter onto it, and then if you've got 20 counters on it, you win the game. But for some reason, Magic Arena is coded in such a way that when you like pass into end of turn, it lets spells resolve, it lets activated abilities resolve, and it lets some triggered abilities resolve, but not all triggered abilities auto-resolve. So I was like doing all my stuff, triggers were happening, then I'd go to my upkeep, and the trigger would happen, and it would wait for my opponent to click accept.
Right.
And then you've got like a timer, so it would take like 20 seconds to run out the timer, and then it would automatically resolve after that. And then I'd go do other things, triggers would resolve, nothing would happen to my opponent. I go to my next turn, and then the trigger would have to resolve. I'm sitting here like, I want to actually win, but it's not going to let me, because he has to wait for it to resolve, or I have to wait for him to let it resolve. But if you time out, I think it's 3 or 4 times in a row, you concede the game.
Right. So he's just trying to make it annoying for you to win the game.
Yeah, so like he walked away from his computer, didn't even care about the game anymore. I was going to win by getting 20 counters on this artifact, but I never got to do it because he walked away and he conceded when I was on 4 counters. I wanted to do the 20 counter win, but very sad. Yeah, so I always just build really weird win condition stuff in Magic. Because like the normal way to win in Magic is you do 20 damage to your opponent, because you start off on 20 life, you do 20 damage, you win. Right. You get creatures, you attack with creatures, or you cast spells that do damage. I don't like doing that though. I like making my opponent have no fun. But I usually have no fun myself. People play things that like get rid of your creatures so you can't attack me. They're like, aha, I wasn't going to attack you in the first place. I was going to play a card that says I win the game if I have this really weird condition, and I just have.
And you never have that condition.
No, I mean, in Modern, people can't just do that. People would just let me do my combo. Or there's this card called Emrakul. It costs 15 mana. So in a normal game of Magic, each turn you gain 1 extra mana, and by turn 15 you have 15 mana. But no one ever actually casts Emrakul, because Emrakul is way too expensive. You want to be winning on like turn 4, not turn 15. So they'll use like cards that say, put a creature from your hand into play, and then it dies at the end of the turn. So they'll like put Emrakul into play, attack once. He's a big creature. He's got 15 power, so 15 damage, and then he'll die, and then they'll get him back later. But I play decks where I get tons of mana really fast, and I get to play him for actual mana cost. And when you actually play him, you get to keep him around to end a turn. You don't need to kill him. It's like, it's really jank. People don't like versing me because they have to actually get rid of him, and he's got protection from instants, and instants are what the majority of the creature removal is based around. So you can't kill him. Too bad.
Back when I was into Hearthstone a lot, I would do the same sort of stupid decks, which is like, this is not actually a meta deck. I'm just having fun here.
Yeah, when I played Hearthstone, I just got like all of the cards that say like make a bunch of creatures, like a Firemind's Portal with like a 7 mana, do 5 damage to a thing, and then create a 5-cost minion. And then I found out like my deck that I brewed that just had like a bunch of like freeze a creature, kill a creature, make a creature. That was actually a meta deck that like people were actually playing in tournaments, and I just like put all the cards that I had into a deck.
My favorite deck from early on was my Murloc deck, which if you haven't played Hearthstone, basically a Murloc is they're generally really weak creatures, and you don't play them as like a main thing in your deck unless you have nothing but Murlocs in your deck, because the thing about Murlocs is they tend to buff each other. So there's like a Murloc that will give each like other Murlocs extra attack, or a Murloc where you have other Murlocs on the field, it'll summon another Murloc, or you have like one that'll You have like a legendary Murloc which boosts up everything a ton, and it's just a stupid deck when it falls into play properly. The problem is, basically every Murloc can be defeated by like nothing, because they have one attack, so that you can just ram anything into them and they just die. So it takes a while to get an opponent that will actually fall for a Murloc deck, but when it happens, it's so fun.
Well, yeah, there's stuff like that in Magic, but they're called Merfolk, not Murloc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of them just say like, other creatures you control have, or other Merfolk have +1 attack, +1 power, and then you get 5 of those out, and everything's now like a cheap creature that was a 1 attack, 1 defense, and now they're like 6 attack, 6 defense. And there's one that says like, for each Merfolk you control, create a Merfolk token, which is another creature that's got 1/1. But it's garbage to 1/1. But then you have 5 creatures that give them all +1/+1. Now you've got like 10 6/6s.
Well, there's this other fun card that this wasn't here when I was playing the Murloc deck. It would have broken the game if it was out back then. All your Murlocs cost 1, so you can just. You get to turn like 6, and you can just throw your hand out every turn.
Well, yeah, there was this amazing card in Hearthstone when I was playing that was legal in like every format. And it was whenever you cast this minion, you recast every single spell you've cast that game.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And if you had played that creature already, you recast every single spell that you've cast, including that creature, which then makes you cast all of the spells that you cast again. So you would, by the time that you'd played the second one, you'd be playing every single spell 3 times.
Jesus.
And so if your spells just did like 1 damage to a target, that's like 4 damage or something that you've done in that. And then like things that make you just draw cards, you draw a fuck ton of cards. Or just like minions, you flood the board with minions. It was so good.
That is.
I never played one of those decks because I could never afford that, because you had to like build stuff with sparks or whatever it was.
I think it was with Dust.
Dust, yeah. And I never had Dust because I didn't play it enough to actually accrue enough to.
Or you'd have to buy decks and then scrap your cards to get Dust. That was the other way you could do it.
Yeah.
Or buy packs, I guess, not decks.
Yeah. But yeah, I never bought packs. I never put money into the game.
Yeah, I was the same.
Free to play. So yeah, I never built any of the broken decks. I wanted to build the Jade deck. Did you ever play when Jade was a thing?
That one's not ringing a bell.
Yeah. So there was this thing called a Jade Golem, and every time in a game that you make a Jade Golem, it's stronger by 1.
Right.
So like the first Jade that you make will be a 1/1. The second one will be a 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, and there are a bunch of cards that just say make a Jade Golem.
Right.
And then there was this like infinite combo where you can. There's a card that says like either make a Jade Golem or shuffle 3 copies of this card into your deck.
Oh lord.
So you would like have one of those in your hand, you would like delete your deck, and then shuffle that back into your deck, and your deck is only now that one card that makes Jade Golems. So you like draw for turn, make a golem, you put more copies of that card back into your deck, and then you'll do that again next turn. Every single turn you just be making these huge golems and just be swinging for like tons of damage.
That is why the competitive for Hearthstone now only has like two of the most recent deck sets you can use. You can't even get the older decks anymore.
Oh, you can play Wilds.
You can, but you can't actually get those older cards. You have to have an older account to have them from when they came out.
Yeah. I think you should still be able to like craft the cards.
You can craft them, but there were still some like mission cards you couldn't get, or quest cards, and some of those were really good. That's no fun.
Yeah, Magic, all the cards exist in paper and online.
Yeah, and you can buy them for as much money as they'll sell them to you for.
Yep. But there's no such thing as a secondary market. just trade for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just trade cards one for one, right? Cards don't have actual value.
No, not at all.
No, they don't. They definitely don't cost $8,000 for a Lotus, whatever it is, Black Lotus. That's the one.
$8,000? Sure, okay.
Yep.
That's a car. That's actually 2 of my cars.
Yep. There's a card that I'm playing in my 7-point Highlander deck, which is like an entirely Australian format of Magic.
Mm-hmm.
But they allow you to like print your cards out. You don't need to actually buy them.
Right.
At most of the places where they hold tournaments. One of the cards I've got is worth $1,800, and like I'm not going to build this deck out of actual cards because I'm not spending that much money on a card. Like, yeah, I'd spend 140.
You should just go to like a joke tournament with the most expensive deck possible.
Yeah. So there's a format called Pauper,
Mm-hmm.
and it's essentially cards in Magic have rarities. There's common, uncommon, rare, mythic.
Right.
And in Pauper, you're only allowed to use common cards.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it's just common cards, there's still like very expensive decks in Pauper. So yeah, but like what I want to do is, as like a real funny, buy a really expensive Pauper deck
Mm-hmm.
and then play with it unsleeved. Because if you know anything about Magic, you sleeve your fucking deck.
Mm-hmm.
Because like by shuffling it or by like just not storing it correctly, like your cards will crinkle and they'll get like whiting on them where like the edges of like smash.
Yeah. I used to play Pokemon. I saw the same thing happen.
Yeah. So like you have to sleeve, and like I double sleeve, so I get a like a clear inner sleeve, and then I put that into a colored outer sleeve.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, most people will double sleeve. Everyone at least sleeves, but it's Pauper, right? It's only the cheap common cards. So why would I need to sleeve the deck, even though it's hundreds of dollars?
Oh Lord. I will be back in just a moment.
Sure.
We are way past the reasonable limit for the length of a podcast. I think this is the longest one now, by far.
Wonderful.
I need to take a piss for like
I
the
always
past
knew I
hour.
was the longest.
Hmm?
I always knew I was the longest.
You are the longest. I'm not sure who second place is now. Maybe Marty's episode, I reckon. Maybe Marty's first one. Or his second one, I don't know. Fucked if I know. I wasn't expecting this one to go for so long, to be honest.
All good.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun, that's for sure. And I haven't even touched on most of the topics. I don't know what the hell we've talked about during this.
I don't fucking remember. A big W, uni, anime.
You not being shit. Yeah, that also came up. You becoming an adult.
Oh yeah, yes. I'm now grown man.
Well, I guess what we can end it on is, have you seen the PS5 memes?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Like, I mean, they're a bit old by now, but
They are, and it'll be even older by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah. So probably my favorite one that I've seen. I'll try to find it now. It was Kaiba as a PS5. Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll show some on the screen. Here's here's Josuke as Xbox.
Oh
And
yeah, Josuke, and it's got Crazy Diamond as
Crazy Diamond
as
as
the
a
PS5.
PS5, yeah.
Fucking love that one, yeah.
And we've got this one here with Polnareff as a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be way old news by the time this comes out. I don't even care. We talked about Belle Delphine. That's going to be old news by the time this comes out as well. That only happened yesterday
Actually, wait.
for us.
That one. That
Oh,
one's-
yeah, I
that's
know.
fine.
This one I've seen.
Wait.
Here you go.
This one's better.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
I think I sent a few of them to a friend, but I can't find them.
They are pretty good. They are like Reddit tier memes, but, you know, I can enjoy them.
There are some pretty good memes on Reddit. There's a subreddit called Magic the Circle Jerking, because you know Magic is called Magic.
Yeah.
So, And yeah, they do some pretty funny memes sometimes. Like they'll just like remove letters from cards, so that the card just reads weird shit. And they especially go on a MTG Lard Fetcher, because there's a subreddit called MTG Card Fetcher that is used on the Magic TCG subreddit. So whenever you put 2 square brackets around a card name, it'll go on to MTG Card Fetcher and find that card and put the image in the response. And MTG Lard Fetcher, if you put any words at all into 2 square brackets, it'll get a random post off the top now, like whatever it's called, like hot thing. And it's just like random shit. And they would like edit cards, and like it's probably not funny to you, but it's fucking hilarious to me. Here's the link if you want to have a look at it.
Generally, the extent of my Reddit is I farm video ideas from Reddit.
So yeah, there's crab, 10 Wishcoin crabs. Mana cost is 30 and then 10 blue, and it's just a creature. Crab.
I feel like
Holy
this would be
shit,
funny if
awesome.
I played Magic.
Yeah.
I'm just confused about what's happening right now.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why I've been scrolling through stuff perfectly fine on the screen. There could just be something slightly not safe for work that pops up, but she'll be right.
We're not live streaming. You can just cut it out when you edit a video.
So that means I have to edit the video. I already have to do it to fix up the audio anyway, so it's not a big deal, I guess. I actually still have a video to record after this. I don't know, I might leave it till next week and just do another double day or something. Because it's 2 p.m. Or almost 2 p.m. now.
But yeah, there's this card in Magic called Colossal Dreadmore.
Yes. I'm saying yes as if I know.
Oh, what?
I'm saying yes as if I know that's a thing. Anyway, go on, yes.
Do you or you?
No, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, it costs 6 mana, it is a 6/6, and has trample. And that is literally the entire card. 6 mana, 6/6 to trample. So 6/6 just means it's a 6 power, 6 toughness.
Yeah.
But what Wizards did, Wizards of the Coast is the company that makes Magic, what Wizards did is they printed him 3 sets in a row. Now, usually, they only print a card once in every 3 or 4 sets, because standard is the most recent 3 sets. So if they want it to be a standard played card, they'll put it in one of the 3 sets, then it'll rotate out eventually, so they'll put it in the new set, so that it's still legal to play. But they put it back to back in 3 sets. And ever since then, there have been just all these fucking memes about it. And there's this one here, very large, scary mouth. And it's just, they have made a card that is not Colossal Dreadmore, but if you look at all of the rules together, it is a 6 mana, 6/6 dinosaur with trample. Even though its creature type says human shapeshifter, but then it's got dinosaur-ling. This card is every type except for the ones that aren't dinosaur. And as an additional cost to cast a spell, pay 3. So it's 3 mana, but you got to pay the additional cost of 3. It's actually just a 6/6. And then very large scary mouse, power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand, multiplied by the number of cards in your library, divided by the number of cards in your graveyard, times 2, times 0, plus 6. So it's just 6. It's just a 6/6.
Just 6/6.
It's like every single thing that made that creature has just been replaced with Colossal Dreadmore. And then I commented on there. You should be able to see there. 1R1SHMAN04's reply to Louis Salmon, and I got 21 upvotes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Look how big your repaint is.
It's probably one of the biggest upvote count I've got on a comment so far.
Mine was probably from years ago back when I would just say stupid shit because I was a dumb kid. Now I'm just like, I don't want to use Reddit. I literally have all of my all my subreddits in an RSS feed reader. Because I don't want to see the comments. I just want to see the topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good content.
Reddit is actual garbage content.
It actually is, yeah. No doubt. Like, from time to time you run into something that's
funny.
passable, and then other times it's like, what is this? Why am I here? Yes? You're gonna say something? Are you alive?
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, sorry. I saw someone like comment on a Reddit, Reddit, like someone replied to my comment on Reddit, and I'm like, was I talking about programming on a Magic subreddit? But no, I think he's just talking about Sublime, which is like Sublime's an IDE, right?
It's a code editor, but close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because he said sub over dub, and I'm like, I see your mana culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Sublime over Atom, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean by Sublime over Atom. My comment had nothing to do with Sublime.
Yeah, why would that be there? Alright then.
Okay.
Maybe we should wrap it up, because we're getting close to 4 hours now, and I want some lunch.
I want breakfast, yes.
Yeah. So something I've been doing lately is giving a shout out to just some random other channel at the end of the podcast. Just whatever you're interested in right now. Could be...
Me?
Yes, could be anything.
I'm interested in this great guy called 1R1SHMAN04. You can go to his YouTube, youtube.com/channel/UCN R8APK4PAJX_B44UMIRMSLG /videos.
Do you actually have a channel?
I mean, I have 3 videos on it, and that's because I had to do it for assignments, or I had a funny haha in Overwatch, or I found a bug in a Minecraft mod pack, and then I made a workaround for it.
I was going to give you a chance to shout your own stuff out as well, but I meant someone that wasn't you.
GitHub.com/Irishman04 without the ones this time, just with I's.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me on GitHub.
Follow you on GitHub, okay, cool.
Now, I don't really watch any smaller creators.
Doesn't have to be smaller. I've shouted out a channel that has like 1 million subscribers before. Just anything that you're enjoying right now.
Let me, the Spiffing Brit I'm enjoying right now.
The Spiffing Brit.
Spiffing Brit is a British gaming channel. He like finds bugs in video games and then exploits the living hell out of them. And yeah, I think he's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a cool channel.
He's quite big, but yeah, I've been enjoying him quite a bit lately. Also, Friendly Geordies. Good Aussie comedian.
Yeah, if you care about Australian politics, all one of you, then come check out Friendly Geordies, because Friendly Geordies is pretty great. Yeah. As for me, I should probably think of ones before I start the video.
If you need more time, I can shout out more people.
I got someone. Since we're on the topic of Australia anyway, and the guy came up earlier, go check out Lewis Spears. He is a phenomenal comedian. On his YouTube channel, he does mainly commentary stuff where he'll just like roast whatever. So you've got the Beldorfine thing that came out. He did a video on Twitch's new safety council where he put a spelling mistake in the thumbnail. He talked about the Karen meme, talked about Marvel's new superheroes, Snowflake and Safe Space, and a bunch of other fun stuff like that. So yeah, go check out Lewis Spears. Great content. Pretty awesome dude as well. I met him when I went to his last show.
I should have gone to his last show.
You
I
should
paid
have.
for tickets, and then I realized the day after that I had tickets to the show, and it was last night.
And you should come to the next one then. I don't know when it's going to be, but...
I'm on the gig list. You can get on the gig list too by going to, I don't know, giglist.com/LewisSpears.
Might be lewisSpears.com/giglist.
Probably, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
That's exactly it. lewispears.com/giglist. Oh no, Lou Spears.
Lou Spears.
L-E-W
Okay.
Spears.
Yeah, I am on the Adelaide gig list, so I'll hear about it soon.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, I want to go to his show, I want to go to Frenchie's show, and a couple other people. Maybe next time Neil comes to South Australia, I need to go to Neil's show as well. Neil Kolhatkar, for anyone who doesn't know about Australian comedians, which is probably most of you.
I thought you were saying Neil Breen.
No, Neil Kolhatkar. Yeah, that should be pretty much everything for this show. So was that all you had to shout out? Nothing else?
Also, if you guys are into D&D, check out Z Bashu. He does D&D animations. He's also relatively big, I believe. Yeah, 379k subs. Z Bashu. He animates things. He's got a series called The Animated Spellbook, where he plays a character for a few minutes and tells you about a cool D&D spell that you might not know how to use, or like how the actual rules about it work. And yeah, really cool videos.
Let me bring up that channel.
It's ZEE.
Yeah, I managed to find it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, this looks like a neat channel. Yeah. And I actually meant for like the stuff that for your own stuff. Anything besides your GitHub you had?
My stuff. I don't have other stuff.
Okay, just your GitHub and
my
LinkedIn.
YouTube channel that I have 6 subs on, and my GitHub.
Go check out his LinkedIn.
My LinkedIn, yeah. What's my LinkedIn link? I think that's also Irishman04.
Is it? I hope it's not.
Probably.
That's a real professional name.
What do you mean? No, it's linkedin.com/in/Nicholas-Island-699328138.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably not going to give you a LinkedIn channel.
Yeah, don't put my LinkedIn there.
Yeah, I'll just leave the GitHub, and if you got anything else you want me to put in there as well, I'll do that as well. So, yeah, I think that is pretty much everything for this show. So before we go, I would like to thank my patrons, Joachim, Nathan, Andrew, Montazar, Peter D, Rogue, Tony Donald, Larry, and Zilva. If you want to check out my main channel, that is Brody Robertson. It is available on Library, YouTube, BitTube, and BitChute. This podcast, if you're listening to the audio version, there's also a video version available on Library and YouTube. If you're listening to the video version, there's an audio version available wherever you listen to audio podcasts. So I think that is pretty much everything for this show. We are going on, I think it's probably going to be like 3 hours and 40 something minutes.
3 hours, 45 minutes I've got here.
Okay. So yeah, how do you want to end off the show?
Bye.
Bye? Okay.